freedom to be me.
I would say courage.
It's opportunity.
I would not have been able to bring my shows to the levels that I wanted to if I didn't have a place like the Players Ring.
You're right up front with the actors.
Everything I have in terms of my theater career, I owe it to the people and the ring.
I always feel comfortable here.
I found a community that I want to be able to continue supporting.
They have a place that you're not going to see somewhere.
It feels sort of like home when I walk in.
I call it home.
Hi, everyone. This is Stacy, CEO of Big Brothers Big Sisters of New Hampshire, and I just wanted to take a quick moment to share with you some of the great, extraordinary outcomes of our program. Our programs are evidence-based, and really all that means is that what we do works, and we can prove that. We conduct surveys, and we talk and outreach with all of the children that participate in our program, as well as their parents, guardians, school personnel, mentors, and 92% of the kids in our program report having a better attitude about school. They're also getting the same or better grades since being in our program, which is extraordinary. 82% of kids also have greater educational expectations, which means that they're participating in school, they're not truant, that they're thinking about what are the next steps that come in life. Am I going to go to a trade school? Am I going to go to a college or a community college? Am I going to join the workforce? And how can our programs help and support kids into that next phase of their life and give them the skills that they need? One of the great outcomes I'd love to share is that 89% of children in our program can identify at least one very important person in their life. That is so critical and really the cornerstone of our mission, which is creating and supporting one-to-one mentoring relationships. That's what we do. And it's not just about sticking two people together, the first people that come in to mentor or a child that comes in, but it's about making the right match so that every child has somebody in their corner.
Knowing that I'm a positive role model for my little, I feel like it means a lot more than I expected it to.
So to have representation, especially a real live person who can show them what their potential is, that's really powerful. And I wish I had had that when I was a kid.
He looks like me when I was little. It was just cool, like almost seeing your younger self and just thinking about what was possible.
Hi, my name is Reverend Larry Brickner Wood. I'm chaplain and the executive director of the Waysme Center here at the University of New Hampshire. The Waysme Center is a community center that does a number of things to promote economic, social, and environmental justice. We do direct service in a number of ways. We have a food justice program that centers in our Cornucopia Food Pantry, which serves about 13 area communities, as well as our campus community. We focus on a food rescue and recovery program that focuses on getting fresh and wholesome food to people, particularly those who can't afford a sustainable diet for their family. We also work hard to do food baskets throughout the year and also promote the notion of a fair, equitable, and sustainable food system for all. Our direct service also includes our Flames of Hope program, which is providing emergency assistance to folks in the community whenever they're in need. We also do a lot of community organizing out of here. We have a number of events. We have Friday night dinners, which includes a drum circle and a dinner. It includes a dinner with your UNH Organic Garden Club, a dinner which focuses on social justice. We do a lot of community organizing around events and activities on campus, particularly those that promote social, economic, and environmental justice and diversity.
My favorite thing about Waysme is just being together with other people, common interests, different interests, meeting new people all the time is really nice. Everyone's so friendly and it just means a lot to me.
And we also provide a place where town and gown can meet, and we can merge spirituality with the practical realities of everyday life and promote engagement in community in loving, sustainable, and compassionate ways.
I think what it's taught me most is there's more resources out there than we think there are, and there's more ways than we can help than we might have thought of. We always have this idea that it has to be a big entity somewhere, state funded, to make a difference, but you can actually make a big difference in your community if you just want to.
I would say community would be community.
Community and unity.
Some of the fun things that you did last
So it's yoga, Zumba, going on the trolley, making new meeting new staff. I mean, it was just great meeting, and I'm so glad we hired them. Hooray for that.
What are some of the things you enjoyed last year?
A lot. Just a lot of things.
Can you see me now? Oh, it's my camera.
Hi, my name is Maria. I am a board of director for Yoga in Action, and I am also a yoga teacher for Yoga in Action.
And I am Sam. I love yoga and being a part of the Yoga in Action community.
Yoga in Action is a nonprofit yoga service organization which provides free accessible yoga in 4 areas: Connect, Yoga and Community; Transform, Yoga for Recovery; Heal, Yoga and Cancer; and Thrive, Yoga for All Abilities. Yoga in Action currently holds classes virtually, although 2 classes have just started in person. Through our Connect program, we offer 2 classes each week. One is a yoga class, which is held on Tuesday evenings, and the other is a meditation, which is held on Monday mornings. Yoga in the Park at Prescott Park will begin in June, each Tuesday at noon through the month of August. Our Transform Yoga for Recovery classes are in partnership with SOS Recovery Center and the Triangle Club in Dover. Both of these classes have recently started in person, which is so exciting. Heal, Yoga, and Cancer classes occur 5 times each week. These classes are for people who have been diagnosed with cancer, who are in treatment, in remission, and their caregivers.
There are 5 Thrive All Abilities yoga classes each week. I love them. I take 4 to 5 classes each week. Yoga makes me calm and strong and be able to see my friends and meet new friends in yoga. I am happy that they are all virtual, but am excited to see everyone back in person again. All Yoga in Action classes are free. Yoga in Action classes are for everyone. Please check out the Yoga in Action website at yogainaction.org.
Hello, my name is Dennis Britton, and I am the president of the Black Heritage Trail of New Hampshire's Board of Directors. We at the Black Heritage Trail of New Hampshire are committed to promoting awareness and appreciation of New Hampshire's African American history in order to build more inclusive communities today. The Black Heritage Trail of New Hampshire was formed in 2017 out of a desire to build upon the success of the Portsmouth Black Heritage Trail. The trail in Portsmouth emerged from the pioneering research of Valerie Cunningham, a Black woman and lifelong resident of the state. But in uncovering Black history in Portsmouth, a broader Black history of our state emerged. Black people have lived and contributed to communities in every region of this state, and the Black Heritage Trail shares stories like those of the Coit Mountain families. Coit Mountain itself is named after a Black man named either Richard or Vance Coit, who migrated to Newport sometime between 1775 and 1790. And records show that a number of Black families lived on Coit Mountain. We also tell the story of Simon Sankey, a Black man who in 1830 was described by a Woodstock shop owner as a very remarkable man, a prince among colored barbers. Simon is also mentioned in the history of Claremont, and we know that in 1832 he owned a barber shop and was a purveyor of sweets and ice cream. We also tell the story of Ona Judge, who was enslaved by George and Martha Washington. Judge self-emancipated in 1796 and escaped to Portsmouth. She eventually married Jack Staines, a free Black sailor, and settled in Greenland. These are just 3 examples of the stories that we are eager to tell and share through erecting historical markers and through providing tours and educational programs. And this is why we need your support. Your support will help us share this history more fully throughout the state. We are excited to help communities uncover and honor their local Black histories, the histories of Black people who have lived, raised families, and owned businesses, even as they face incredible odds. We are committed to engaging young people through curricula that provide students with a truer history of New Hampshire and thus a truer history of the United States. We celebrate triumphs, but we also acknowledge that racism was and continues to challenge our goal to be a fully equitable and inclusive New Hampshire. Your support will help us build and maintain spaces, both online and in person, to have open conversations about how our history informs our present. We look forward to partnering with you, and we thank you for your support.
My name is Gladys. I'm from South Sudan.
Girls that have lived through incredible trauma and circumstances find themselves highly vulnerable, void of any hope at all.
And now these people have to rebuild their lives. This is where Child Voice comes in.
The future of communities and countries in these conflict areas really lies in the hands of the adolescent girls that will become the next generation.
There are dozens of active conflict zones.
Always want to help other people.
I have always wanted to help other people.
Hi, I'm Agnes. I came to the Dover Adult Learning Center to complete requirements for an entry to the nursing program at New Hampshire Technical College at Stratham, now called Great Bay Community College. I took chemistry, biology, and passed my DED exam. The classes helped me review in English and knowledge that I already had. I was able to apply to the nursing program successfully and obtain my degree. Today, I am an RN at the local hospital, and I am grateful for the opportunity that the center offered me.
Remember, we're all in this together, and we're still here for you.
When I first interviewed to come to Dover Children's Home, I was nervous about going to live at yet another new place, but I felt like DCH would be a fun place to be and the staff seemed nice. I have become more comfortable being at DCH and have had lots of fun times with staff and my peers. With the skills I'm learning at DCH, I'm hoping to be able to reach my goals of going to college and becoming an airline pilot.
For over 125 years, Dover Children's Home has dedicated itself to serving some of New Hampshire's most vulnerable youth and their families. Although the mission has been altered throughout the years, our values of providing innovative care and treatment to youth has always remained. As our mission states, Dover Children's Home is dedicated to enriching the lives of adolescents and strengthening their family relationships. Through the highest quality residential treatment services and educational programs, our commitment to evolving and designing new treatment programs must set the standard for excellence in the field and enable those children facing life's most difficult challenges with the means to grow and live healthy, productive, and independent lives.
Building relationships is one of the most important parts of guiding a youth towards successful outcomes. Teenagers often come to DCH angry and with a lifetime of loss and trauma. They're usually fearful to trust other adults to help them when they've already gone through so many systems of care and caretakers. Building a strong relationship of trust and consistency in care can allow these youth to feel physically and emotionally safe, and it provides them with the space to focus on their longer-term goals. Our consistent group of staff work with the kids to provide appropriate limits while also valuing their opinions and meeting their needs. The intent of our approach is to help rebuild self-esteem, as well as create more positive adult relationships and support systems on which the youth can rely. Kids need adults on their side coaching and cheering them on. Keeping these relationships intact throughout the course of their stay at DCH can also help them better face future obstacles and challenges with more resilience. As a program director, I've seen some youth come to DCH with significant life difficulties, and then they leave with some unexpected successful outcomes. At the core of both their success is both the youth's own will and choices, but also the foundation of the positive relationships they've had with the staff.
Since being at Dover Children's Home, I had wonderful experiences such as going to Nashville and participating in a service project trip to help rebuild houses for Hurricane Katrina victims in New Orleans. I have been able to build long-lasting relationships in the community, and I hope to be able to continue those relationships throughout my adult life.
Our focus is to provide an adolescent experience rich with opportunities to help shape a youth's future. Opportunities such as driver's education, prom, graduation events, educational and leisure activities, employment opportunities, and so much more. Beyond the external experiences, helping to identify natural community supports as well as protective factors has shown to increase the youth's resilience against life's challenges.
The thing I love the most about our independent living program is that it can really be whatever the kiddo needs. If they come to us having never had a part-time job, we can help them apply, pick out an interview outfit, fill out their W-4, manage their work schedule, whatever they need. If they come to us in their senior year and they want to then attend college, we can help them research schools, apply for financial aid, attend orientation with them, even move them into the dorms. It doesn't matter where a resident is at when they arrive here. We can help them build their independent living skill set in some way or many ways in order to help their future. If a kiddo wants to accomplish something, we are determined to help them make it happen, taking any opportunity we can to build their confidence, problem-solving strategies, and independent living skills. To put it simply, we want these residents to have lives that are as safe and comfortable as possible when they leave us, and we try our hardest to help them achieve that.
Dover Children's Home and the youth served through its program has reaped the benefits of a loving and nurturing community. With limited state funding, we have continued to add innovative treatment programs and have provided opportunities for our youth that go above and beyond. And this is due to all of the people who contribute through their time, talents, and treasures.
All right. Well, hello, everybody out there in New Hampshire Gives Land. Welcome to our live feed interview with some terrific nonprofits. My name is Jeanine of Jeanine Company, and I am really excited to be here with you today. Jeanine Company is a consulting firm, and I'm so honored to help nonprofits bring good things to our community and be strong. Another role that I'm extremely proud of is that I'm a board member of the New Hampshire Center for Nonprofits, and it's been such an exciting thing to watch the center grow along with New Hampshire Gives over the years. So I just want to say thank you for everyone and your participation in there. So, okay, so we have a bit of a big announcement here. We have matches at the top of every hour. Oh yeah, thank you very much, Chris. Okay, so we have matches at the top of every hour. At noon, we just had a match, and that match caused the biggest spike in donations since we started last year, which brings us to over $2.7 million raised, breaking the $10,000 donor mark to 561 organizations. That is tremendous. And we are not done yet, folks. We still have some time to go. Yeah, that's awesome. I love fireworks. Okay, so speaking of matches, remember that those matches are sponsored by our major sponsor, the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation. They are such a great partner on New Hampshire Gives and many other things, and partners with probably all of the organizations that are in New Hampshire Gives. So kudos to New Hampshire Charitable Foundation. There are more matches coming up. You'll be able to have matches at 3 and at 4 p.m. So check out the matches on newhampshiregives.org, and you can also learn about currently active matches for individual organizations. That's in addition to the site-wide matches. Now, the other thing we have is prizes. Who doesn't love a good prize? So right now, we are in the T for 2 golden ticket period. So what that means is that every time you give, the organizations you give to are entered into a drawing that will be drawn at 2 o'clock that will give one organization a $250 additional donation. In addition, all those organizations will be entered into other prizes at the end of the day, okay? So I think we have a prize to give out now, the Luncheon Golden Ticket winner. Are we ready to announce that?
We sure are.
Deborah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome, thank you. Excited to be here.
Yeah, isn't it fun? I am here to tell everyone who the Luncheon Golden Ticket winner is. The Luncheon Golden Ticket was for donations between 10 and noon, and the winner of the Luncheon Golden Ticket is the Greater Nashua Habitat for Humanity. Congratulations to that organization, and they will be getting an email from us soon. Tune in at 1 p.m. to find out who wins the Show Your Spirit prize.
Very cool. All right.
NH Gives is New Hampshire's largest single day of giving to the nonprofits that make all of our communities better places to live.
This year, New Hampshire Gives is going to run for 24 straight hours, kicking it off at 5 p.m. June 8th, running to 5 p.m. June 9th at nhgives.org.
And you'll be able to give to any one of 550 different agencies of your choice.
Give as little as $5 if you want.
And we can match it to double your money.
Remember, June 8th, 5 p.m., nhgives.org.
Excellent. All right. So our prize winner, as Deborah said, was a Greater Nashua Habitat for Humanity. Very exciting. More prizes coming throughout the day. So what we're about to head into is a segment that will introduce you to 3 great nonprofits and 3 terrific young professionals who are nonprofit leaders in the state. So I'd like to bring on board to talk to you Ashley Ballou from Mountain Valley Treatment Center, Kelly Buchanan from Clean Energy New Hampshire, and Connor Spurn from the Friends program. Welcome, friends. Thank you all so much for being here with us today. Really appreciate it. Isn't it so exciting how this is going? $2.7 million. Man.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's amazing.
I know. I love it. So I want to thank you all so much for joining me today. And I'd like to, ask you a few questions from your perspective as a young professional. I would like to just say that several years ago, let's not say how long ago, I was a young professional and was part of launching the first young professionals organization in the state here in Manchester Young Professionals Network. So I remember what it was like, and I'm so glad that you are involved in nonprofit organizations. So I just want to kudos to all of you. So let's start with Ashley. So Ashley, tell us about the Mountain Valley Treatment Center, what you do there, and what the organization does.
Yeah, so Mountain Valley is a residential treatment facility that specializes in anxiety and obsessive compulsive disorder for adolescents and young adults up to the age of 20. So our residents come and stay with us for about 90 days usually, and get this real holistic and intensive treatment. Our residents come here with pretty debilitating anxiety to the point where they may not have gone to school in the past year. So it's really, really important work that we're doing. My role specifically, I'm currently a residential supervisor, so I'm helping run the residential side of things. in the beginning of July, I will be moving to the program director, so kind of moving on up there. So still more so on the residential side of things than the clinical side. But yeah, we're doing the hands-on work with our residents, putting what they're learning in therapy into action every day.
Wow, such important work. That is fantastic, especially now, you know, with everything that people have been through with this mental health crises before, and I'm sure exacerbated because of the pandemic. So
for sure.
Yeah. Thank you for that fabulous work. That's great. All right, Ashley. We're going to move to Kelly. So Kelly, same question. Tell us, you know, what you do at the organization and what Clean Energy New Hampshire does.
Sure. So Clean Energy New Hampshire is a nonprofit organization that promotes clean energy and technologies through both education and advocacy for a stronger economic future in New Hampshire. And a lot of what we do is based on building relationships and working among people in different organizations using a fact-based approach that offers objective, balanced, and practical insights into transforming New Hampshire's clean energy economy. Some of our initiatives include our local energy solutions conference that we host every year in the fall. We also have Drive Electric New Hampshire that promotes EVs in the state. And notably for this segment, we have our Young Professionals in Energy group that provides a venue for young people in energy to get together and do fun things, tour interesting energy-related facilities. But we're really well known for our work at the Public Utilities Commission and at the legislature advocating for clean energy. And that relates to my role. I'm the Director of Regulatory Affairs for Clean Energy New Hampshire. And I've just recently started taking on some more legislative work as we transition. We're hiring a new executive who starts in mid-July. So exciting times for us.
Wow, that's great. It's so important, you know, as we sit here on this, is it the third day, the fourth day of the heat wave? It really brings home the importance of an organization like Clean Energy New Hampshire that are working on these climate change and environmental issues that are so important to the quality of life. You know, if that goes, the quality of life goes away, what do we got left, right?
So true. Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done in New Hampshire on those issues.
I bet there is. That's great, Kelly. Thank you so much. Connor, let's bring Connor on. And again, same question, Connor. Tell us what you do at the Friends program and tell us about the Friends program.
Sure. So my name is Connor Spurn. I am the development director for the Friends program. So I do fundraising, events, grant writing, which is arguably one of the most important parts of the development director and bringing in money for the organization. So the Friends program specifically, we're 4 different programs. Our initial program started in 1975 with youth mentoring. So we have 2 different youth mentoring departments. One is strictly through St. Paul's schools, which is the high school students mentor younger students. And then we have a community-based mentoring, which is community-based adults who mentor young people in the community between the ages of 6 and 17. Many of those who are involved in that program are from our New American community within Concord. So not only is it a great way just for young people to have an adult mentor outside of the family, sometimes it is a really important part of learning a different aspect of American culture, being able to have opportunities that you otherwise may not know of or be a part of. We had some collaboration with Making Matters, which is a maker space in Concord. So there were some art opportunities that they were able to do all throughout COVID, which was a nice outlet when the school's not happening and extracurriculars aren't happening. They were able to do some arts. We also have 2 senior programs. So we have Foster Grandparent Program, which places seniors in classrooms with students who need just extra emotional support or just someone to sit next to them and help them keep focused on their work. And they're known as the grannies and grampies of their school, which is not only adorable, but the kids just adore them. And throughout COVID, we've really helped teach these seniors how to use Zoom. So you've got 70, 80, and 90-year-olds who have gotten iPads and have been trained in how to enter these virtual classrooms so they can still offer that support. And then our other senior program is Retired Senior and Volunteer Program, which is through AmeriCorps. So that we place seniors volunteers, 55 plus, in organizations across New Hampshire. So we have almost 500 volunteers in 83 New Hampshire organizations. So we do the administrative work for that, so that the mission of those other nonprofits can be expanded and they don't have to spend the workload with volunteers. And then finally, we operate Merrimack County's only family shelter. Outside of Family Promise, which is run through churches, we have a physical shelter located within Concord, and we offer shelter to families and children. So we are currently able to house 8 families at a time, and we're doing a renovation to be able to house a 9th family in our shelter.
Wow.
So we do a little bit of everything.
Program. That is incredible. But you have, fingers out in every aspect of the community, and that is really, really fantastic. Oh, I love that, Connor. Thank you. We're going to move on to another question, and we're going to go back to Ashley. And so, Ashley, I'm curious, as a young professional, what drew you to the nonprofit arena, and where are you looking to really continue to make a difference in this arena?
Yeah. So really what drew me, of course, in a world and society that is very motivated by money, once I got a taste of the work that Mountain Valley's doing, going from a resident who is terrified of vomiting and can't get into a car and can't exercise because of the sensations that come up, and seeing that person then 3 months later get on an airplane, which is something that they never imagined they would do. It really shows that the work that we're doing, it's not for the paycheck. And that's shown through the nonprofit, and just making a difference in so many people's lives and being a part of that difference myself. It's pretty indescribable what that feels like. And I, never would have imagined I'd be in New Hampshire as long as I have, moving here from Mass, but I wouldn't have it any other way at this point because of the work that we've been doing. Where my future lies ahead, I can't say for sure, but I am wrapping up my master's in clinical mental health counseling this year in September. So I do imagine I will definitely be staying in this line of work. It's a selfless job, selfless field, and it's gratifying. I wouldn't have it any other way. So
that's really tremendous, Ashley. Congratulations. I think we need a round of applause for Ashley for her master's.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. That is big deal. That's awesome. And as you said, you're moving up in a trajectory, at your organization, which is so wonderful. So, to have your perspective in the nonprofit community and in the New Hampshire community is just incredible and really important. So I want to say thank you. I'm from Massachusetts too. There's so many of us now. So it's all good. That's great. All right, Kelly, same for you as a young professional. What kind of drew you to the field, and how do you see staying engaged? So.
Sure. So I fell into nonprofits coming out of college. I worked for 2 other nonprofits in New Hampshire prior to my role with Clean Energy New Hampshire. And I'm originally from Boulder, Colorado. So yay, transplants. It's always fun to meet another one. But I really wanted to work for Clean Energy New Hampshire because of the enormous leadership role they play in energy policy in the state. I've always had a deep love of policy and the change you can effectuate through being a good advocate for your cause. And that really comes down from the nonprofit culture. My colleagues are incredibly supportive and collaborative, and the availability of mentorship in the energy field especially, and the role that Clean Energy New Hampshire plays in that has been incredibly beneficial to my personal development, but I also see a lot of other young professionals benefiting from that. It's just an exciting place to work, and especially in energy policy, things change so quickly, and there are so many opportunities for advancement and for change. You never have a dull day, I'll say that. And then looking forward to the future, I don't see my myself changing out of this field. Working for a nonprofit is incredibly rewarding and flexible and fulfilling, to say the least, especially when it's for effectuating policy that helps our clean energy economy transform into something beneficial for future generations.
Yeah, that's incredible. That is great, Kelly. And I'm sure with our very large legislature, there's plenty of room for lots of expansion and growth and, connections. So
yes, we have quite a challenge on our hands with so many of them, but they're good folks to work with, and never a dull day. I'll say that.
That's a great way to say it. I love that. That's great. That's great, Kelly. Thank you. And Connor, we're going to wrap it up with you. Same kind of question, as a young professional, what drew you to the nonprofit world, and, where do you see the future?
Sure. My first experience with nonprofits in Concord was almost an accident, to be honest. I was involved with Concord Young Professionals Network just a couple of months in with a job I had taken back in 2017. And they volunteer the second Sunday of every month at the soup kitchen in Concord, known as the Friendly Kitchen. So I went more as a social outing. It was a good way to just interact with people. And I've always liked helping, but I never had a specific role in any way. I'm also a transplant. I'm from Texas. So it was when I was still new. And again, I was just looking for opportunities to become more familiar with my community. And I remember going there and just feeling the overwhelming sense of this is where you're supposed to be. It was the first time I was ever face to face directly with unhoused populations. I came from a really small town. So we just didn't have that. And so just being able to interact with the people that were coming there and really seeing the human side of an issue that's sometimes generalized as and is dehumanized just by the way it's represented in the media and the way we see it. So it was a real turning point for me. And from there, I really just sought out more opportunities to volunteer there. Through that, expanded my network with other nonprofits. They started to know me from there. And I eventually joined the board for the Friendly Kitchen. Through another SIP and networking event, I joined the board for the Friends program. And they had the opening for development director. And I don't have a degree yet, actually. I am finishing my associates next semester. So it was interesting to find a passion in what I wanted to do in what is typically considered in a non-traditional way. And I think that's a beautiful thing about volunteering, is because it's a low risk way to maybe try something new for yourself. And the connections that you meet there, it's all people who, especially I think in New Hampshire, people who volunteer are really dedicated to what they're volunteering for. And I think they see what people are passionate about before they see necessarily what's on a resume. So it became a passion through a random experience and something I never thought I'd be interested in. And then it just evolved into me being able to work for the Friends program, which, as you heard, it's so deeply involved in multiple layers of our community. And I can help in a way that is just from my natural skill set and my natural abilities. It was just, happened to be a role for me. And all throughout the levels of nonprofits, there's something for somebody everywhere. No matter if you are just good with making a social media post, marketing is sometimes the hardest thing for nonprofits to find people for, all the way through, again, grant writing. I just happen to be a good writer and a good networker. So it was just this snowball effect. And that's what's led me to be here, because I'm surrounded by amazing people who are equally passionate about our community. And it's hard to get away from that once you're in it. So, yeah.
Man, well said, Connor. That is fantastic. Absolutely. Well, I think, the themes that we've heard during these really engaging conversations with the three of you are yay for transplants to New Hampshire. And it's all about the relationships, right? And I think that's what it all comes down to, is relationships affect how you do your work, affect how you engage for employment opportunities, and relationships affect who you give to. So let's remember that in New Hampshire Gives. If you have a relationship with an organization, give them a gift today. If you don't have a relationship with an organization, but you are intrigued by something that you see or that you heard, you start a relationship with that organization by giving them a gift today at newhampshiregives.org. Thank you all so much for this inspiration. keep on keeping on, young professionals. We need you and we love you. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day, everybody. Now we're going to return to seeing some more inspiring videos from nonprofits across the state.
Thank you so much, Jeanine. That was fantastic. And I do just want to quickly acknowledge as well, before I hit that play button on these videos, your graciousness in the 11 a.m. hour was magnificent. And we're just really grateful for your hosting skills this morning as we stretch into the afternoon. So thank you, Jeanine, for taking the time today to facilitate these discussions. I'm totally with you, by the way, on the idea of not quite being a young professional anymore. Like, I'm starting to get that feeling too. So,
right? I mean, you get there, you're like, wait a second, I'm not the youngest person in the room anymore.
What year is it now? So thank you, Jeanine. And we will see you again for the 1 p.m. conversations. I've got graphics for these too. So let's put this up before we turn to. So there you go. At 1 p.m., it'll be Jeanine again with Goodwin Community Health Families First, World Affairs Council of New Hampshire, and NH Hunger Solutions. So we'll look forward to that, Jeanine, and I'll see you again in about 30 minutes.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate it.
Freedom to be me.
I would say courage.
It's opportunity.
I would not have been able to bring my shows to the levels that I wanted to if I didn't have a place like the Players Ring.
You're right up front with the actors.
Everything I have in terms of my theater career, I owe it to the people and the ring.
I always feel comfortable here.
I found a community that I want to be able to continue supporting.
They have a place that you're not going to see somewhere.
It feels sort of like home when I...
Oops. That's the wrong video. So let's play the right one. And then we'll be back again at 1 p.m. I'm telling you, there's a lot of buttons to push here, guys. Let's play the correct one. Here we go.
Did you know that while 7 in 10 Americans believe that international events affect their daily lives, fewer than half of the population can pass a standard test on global knowledge? This is the problem that the World Affairs Council of New Hampshire has set out to fix by bringing the world to New Hampshire and New Hampshire to the world. A decade after the world fought the most devastating war known to man, residents of the state came together to create an organization that would help people better understand complex global issues. The idea was to foster understanding of different countries, regions, cultures, and people to build bridges and promote peace in a time of great uncertainty. By providing a trusted space for open discussion and expert insights, the Council has educated tens of thousands of global citizens over the course of its 67-year history. Every year, the Council provides a wide range of programs for people to engage with and build its global community. Whether through expert speaker programs headlined by people such as Ambassador Nicholas Burns, former Secretary of Defense Chuck Hagel, Honest Tea founder Seth Goldman, or any number of academics, journalists, and more, audience members can be sure they are getting trusted information to inform their understanding of complex global challenges. Without knowledge, there is no understanding. Without understanding, there is no peace. In addition to the excellent speakers programs, the World Affairs Council of New Hampshire provides the public with the opportunity to meet and engage with up-and-coming leaders from around the world. Through the International Visitor Leadership Program, an exchange of the U.S. Department of State, New Hampshire plays host to almost 300 working professionals each and every year. By creating custom itineraries, visitors are able to share best practices with their counterparts, as well as learn more about what the U.S. is really like. Without a doubt, the relationships built through this program continue to bear fruit well into the future. With With over 350 previous participants having gone on to be current or former heads of state, this program literally brings future world leaders to New Hampshire. Speaking of leaders, the Council knows that the next generation holds the key to the future. Therefore, it is important we engage them at a young age in thinking about the world outside of the state, which will come knocking whether we are ready or not. Beyond simply attending our events to have their questions answered, the Council provides a global quiz challenge for high school students. The Academic World Quest brings together students from across the state to study for and compete in a global academic challenge. The winning team gets the opportunity to compete against teams from across the country at the World Affairs Councils of America program in Washington, D.C. This is the only globally focused academic competition for New Hampshire high school students, allowing them to dive deeper into vital international issues. In the end, the World Affairs Council of New Hampshire fills the need for international understanding in an ever-globalizing world. If the pandemic has taught us anything, it is that what starts in one country on the other side of the globe does not necessarily stay there. We will only continue to need to know more about what is going on in other countries, which means the work of the Council will only grow more important. We need your help to ensure that this vital organization is able to continue to bring important, engaging, and exciting programs to the state. Please donate to our cause and make sure the world does not leave New Hampshire behind.
Hi, my name is Laura Milliken. I'm the Executive Director of New Hampshire Hunger Solutions. Our system of food and nutrition supports is like a power grid, moving healthy food to children and families. In New Hampshire, that grid is well developed in some areas and patchy or non-existent in others. A hunger-free New Hampshire will require making sure that all communities are plugged into the grid, so that everyone eligible for food and nutrition supports can benefit from them. I hope you'll support New Hampshire Hunger Solutions' efforts to address the structural causes of hunger and ensure our systems of food and nutrition support are working effectively and efficiently throughout our state. Please donate to New Hampshire Hunger Solutions today.
I'm Doug Bechtel, the president at New Hampshire Audubon, and we're a nonprofit environmental group whose mission is to protect New Hampshire's natural environment for wildlife and for people. We have 4 program areas to accomplish our mission. One is environmental education, and we teach kids and families all year round. We also do conservation science to protect and monitor some of our rarer birds or declining birds to make sure that they persist in New Hampshire. We work on environmental policy to make sure our state and federal legislation is supporting wildlife habitat and clean water and clean air for birds and other things. And we own 39 sanctuaries around the state that have trails for access for recreation and to protect habitat for birds and other wildlife.
Hello, my name is Ken Norton and I'm the Executive Director of NAMI New Hampshire, the state chapter of the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Over the past 40 years, NAMI New Hampshire has grown from an organization that started at the kitchen table of our founder, Peggy Straw, to become a thriving statewide organization with a dedicated staff and hundreds of passionate volunteers, many of whom have their own lived experience with mental illness personally or with a family member or loved one. Our mission is to improve the lives of all people impacted by mental illness or suicide. We're not treatment providers. We do this through support, education, and advocacy. Please know if you or a loved one are struggling with a mental health condition, you are not alone, and we're here to provide you with hope and support. Thanks so much for considering a donation to support our mission.
Hi, I'm Susan Stearns, and I'm the Deputy Director for NAMI New Hampshire.
With your support, the New Hampshire Preservation Alliance can save and revive irreplaceable landmarks like the last of its kind 1888 gas holder in Concord, New Hampshire. In good times and bad, we appreciate how members and friends like you share how these special places, like the gas holder, meeting houses, and old farms, are full of stories and connections that give us solace and comfort, as well as energy and inspiration. You know from living in or visiting downtowns and village centers how repair and restoration supports good-paying jobs and serves as a catalyst for additional community and economic investment. We think of preservation as a team effort, and we need you on our team now so that we have the resources to help struggling main streets and gathering places and realize our goal of making New Hampshire a special place to live, work, and raise our families. We hope you'll consider a donation to the New Hampshire Preservation Alliance today.
Hello, and thank you for joining us for a talk through a year with the Community Players of Concord. My name is Catherine Hodges.
And I'm her husband, Eric Hodges. It's been just over a year since the pandemic shut down all normal theatrical activities, and it's been a difficult time for all of us. On behalf of the players, we want to welcome you into our world for the past year or so.
Although we've been yearning, yet unable to return to the stage in full performance capacity, it's been a busy year for the players. We even launched our monthly e-news update to help keep all our members and patrons in the loop on everything we've been up to. Subscribe on our website if you haven't yet. Our most exciting ongoing project, for us at least, is the incredible renovation and reorganization of our studio home in East Concord.
That's right, Kathy. This period of time away from the stage has brought us the time and energy for an impressive overhaul of our rehearsal space, our props room, a costume area, and much more. I mean, come on, look at those lovely pictures, people.
It feels great to know that when we can get back to a sense of normalcy, we have some beautiful spaces waiting for us. In the meantime, our virtual outreach game has been just as strong. You may have caught our Concord TV holiday greeting or our Love is in the Air benefit concert with the always amazing Seraphim and David Affleck. Or you might have enjoyed one of the cool musical theater workshops that we partnered with Concord Community Music School to present.
And that's not all. We've also promoted and put on an array of both virtual performances and workshop opportunities to scratch that theatrical itch we all must be feeling by now. There's been plenty of participation in a playwriting workshop led by our good friend Brian Halpern of Laconia, a hilarious Broadway-themed virtual murder mystery, and an online director's workshop with Kevin Gardner, focusing on what it takes to get a production off the ground.
And don't forget about our re-streaming of Graham Teschler's world premiere performance of Kid Cult Cosmology from when the players produced it at the Hatbox Theater.
How could I forget? Lord Zonox for life! Ultimately, we can't wait to get back to work on stage. But until then, we want to leave you with some upcoming events to keep you involved and in the loop. Some of these events include
a two-part play festival in late April, early May, celebrating the hard work done in the aforementioned playwriting workshop. We are so excited to partner with Powerhouse Theater Collaborative on these Zoom and in-person performances.
Our children's outdoor theater summer camps, songs, scenes, and silly short shows getting off the ground the first week of August, right in Concord at the Kimball Jenkins Estate.
Co-producing Neil Simon's dinner party with Powerhouse Theater Collaborative in the newly renovated Colonial Theater in Laconia.
A September production of the truly unique and intriguing show called White Rabbit, Red Rabbit. Very different.
Finally getting our production of Barefoot in the Park onto a stage near you. Dates are to be determined, but the set, cast, and crew are poised and ready to get back to where they left off in March of 2020.
Phew. We all know it's been a fretful, frenzied, fraying year, but on behalf of the Community Players of Concord, we want to wish you all a happy and a healthy 2021.
And we hope to see you soon in person.
Hi, this is Ryan Vizda.
Hi, this is Mike Vizda.
We love Five Rivers for so many reasons, including the preservation of open space, agricultural farmland.
All the trails, the hiking trails, biking trails, the working farm landscapes.
Hi, I'm Rob Knight. I'm here at Diamond Hill Farm on one of Concord's wonderful hiking trails. When I'm out running on these wonderful trails, I'm so appreciative of Five Rivers for protecting all the properties that make these trails possible. Diamond Hill Farm, Carter Hill Orchard, Wynett Park, Swope Park, all my favorite trails. Thanks, Five Rivers.
My husband and I support Five Rivers because it's our local land trust, and we love the outdoors, and we've raised our kids in this area, and we want to ensure, or do our part to ensure, that future generations in the capital region can enjoy the capital region the way that we have.
The work of Five Rivers Conservation Trust in providing open spaces in the capital area has enriched our lives immensely by providing numerous opportunities for outdoor activities.
We have been ardent supporters of Five Rivers for decades, and we hope that you will consider contributing today to ensure that their critical work continues.
Hi, my name is Bob, and this is my granddaughter, Abby. Whether it's hiking the trails here at Wynett Park or going to Diamond Hill for fresh produce, Five Rivers Conservation Trust is preserving land for future generations.
The last few years, we've been trying to figure out what to do with this farm to prevent development of McMansions on that ridge behind me. Fortunately, due to Five Rivers and their many generous donors, this land will remain a farm in perpetuity for the public to enjoy. And oh, by the way, the wildlife will have a secure home also.
We're so grateful to be in a community that has an organization like Five Rivers that values what we value and makes it such a great place to live.
Thank you for all you do.
The need for ambulance providers in New Hampshire is great. The places to get certification as an EMS professional are few, and the cost can put this education out of reach for many. Great Brook Academy's founder was aware of this dilemma more than 2 decades ago, which is why he created an educational institution that focused on high-quality instruction based on educational methodology. The focus at Great Brook Academy was on quality, not quantity, and it remains the same today. Great Brook Academy is a recognized nonprofit educational institution that offers a wide range of certification programs like Emergency Medical Responder, Emergency Medical Technician, NCCP refresher programs, EMS continuing education classes, and so much more. Our core curriculum and instruction has moved online for the convenience and safety of our students. But this technology is not new to Great Brook. We have been providing instruction this way for more than 10 years. Our courses are available and affordable to our students no matter where in life they are. Recent high school graduates, college or undergraduate students, or adult learners looking to start a new career, Great Brook Academy has something to offer everyone. Our flexible online environment gives students the ability to complete coursework at their own pace, check in with other students, and live stream conference with their instructors. So when someone asks you where you are taking your classes, you can tell them here, or here, or even here. With Great Brook Academy, where you are is where we are.
Hello, my name is Ken Norton, and I'm the Executive Director of NAMI New Hampshire, the state chapter of the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Over the past 40 years, NAMI New Hampshire has grown from an organization that started at the kitchen table of our founder, Peggy Straw, to become a thriving statewide organization with a dedicated staff and hundreds of passionate volunteers, many of whom have their own lived experience with mental illness personally or with a family member or loved one. Our mission is to improve the lives of all people impacted by mental illness or suicide. We're not treatment providers. We do this through support, education, and advocacy. Please know if you or a loved one are struggling with a mental health condition, you are not alone, and we're here to provide you with hope and support. Thanks so much for considering a donation to support our mission.
Hi, folks. We did a little trial by fire with Jeanine today, so.
I'm ready.
Okay, hello everybody in New Hampshire Gives Land. So happy that you're joining us for the live feed, and so excited and grateful for the extreme generosity. So guess where we are at? We broke the $2.8 million mark. That's right. And that's from just over 10,500 donors affecting 564 nonprofit organizations. And we are not done yet. It's 1 o'clock and we're going until 5. So do us a favor, spread the word, share, make sure everyone who wants to give in this 24-hour period has a chance. Boy, you're making it happen and I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. So if you want to really maximize and help others maximize their giving for the rest of the day, we have 2 more opportunities for a site-wide match. That means your gift could be doubled or more. And so those are happening at the top of the 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock hours. So 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. site-wide matches. Those are sponsored by the New Hampshire Charitable Foundation and all the donors, they rallied for that. So great partner for New Hampshire Center for Nonprofits and so many other organizations. And I also just want to give a shout out to Switcher Studio, who is providing all of the live stream capability. We couldn't do it without them. So thanks so much, Switcher Studio. You're the best. Now we're going to talk about, absolutely. We're going to talk about prizes. So the deal with prizes is that they're given away throughout the day in the form of golden tickets. Every time a nonprofit wins a prize, they get an additional $250 for their organization, which is a big deal. Right now, we are in the Tea for Two golden ticket period. So that's appropriate, afternoon tea, right? And that Tea for Two prize is sponsored by Comcast. So thank you to Comcast. So every time that someone gives between the hours of noon and 2 to a nonprofit, that organization is entered to be drawn to win the Tea for Two prize. In addition, if any organization that gets any donations throughout New Hampshire Gives are entered into prize drawings that will happen at the end of the day. So the end of the 24-hour period. So it's a nice way to keep things interesting, give more money to these great nonprofits, and sweeten that pot a little bit, right? So I think we're ready to announce a prize, which is the Show Your Spirit prize, which is a pretty unique prize. And so let's bring Deborah on to talk about that and announce who the winner is.
Hi, Jeanine.
Deborah.
I've actually got 2 prizes to announce.
Oh, it's a
Very
bonus.
exciting.
I love it.
When we were talking last time, Jeanine, we actually hit the 10,000th donor earlier today, and there's a prize for that. But I had to go do some weird spreadsheet math in order to figure out who won that prize. So I now have the decision on that. And then we also have the Show Your Spirit prize winner. And that was for participating nonprofits were encouraged to submit a screenshot of one of their New Hampshire Gives posts to us through a Google form. And then we chose one randomly. And I'm going to tell you that I saw how many submissions there were, and I picked a number before I went to look at them because I knew that I wouldn't be able to just be random if I went and saw puppies and babies. But the people that know me, I don't know if Chris had time to load this up. I texted him the graphic, but the people that know me, when they find out what the graphic was, will think it's kind of funny. So the winner, first of all, of the 10,000th donor prize is My Breast Cancer Support. Cool. All right. Chris, did you get that graphic at all?
Chris did not get the graphic, but okay. Chris will work on getting the graphic.
All right. So the winner of the Show Your Spirit prize is the Wyndham Endowment for Community Advancement. And we'll eventually get to show you the prize, but even though they were chosen at random, I gotta say it's a picture of like this triple decker ice cream, and anybody who knows me would have been like, oh yeah, that's the one you would have chosen. So it was a great picture on an appropriately steamy day and steamy week. So congratulations to both those winners. We'll be getting in touch with you via email, and tune in at 2 p.m. to find out who wins the Tea for Two golden ticket. Have a great discussion.
And to see the graphics that Deborah is talking about that I didn't get up yet, but we'll get there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Deborah, for that.
NH Gives is New Hampshire's largest single day of giving to the nonprofits that make all of our communities better places to live.
This year, New Hampshire Gives is going to run for 24 straight hours, kicking it off at 5 p.m. June 8th, running to 5 p.m. June 9th at nhgives.org.
And you'll be able to give to any one of 550 different agencies of your choice.
Give as little as $5 if you want.
And we can match it to double your money.
Remember, June 8th, 5 p.m., nhgives.org.
Right. Fantastic. So exciting with the prizes, right? Our 10,000 donor prize is My Breast Cancer Supports, and the Show Your Spirit prize, Wyndham Endowment for Community Advancement. That's so great. Each of those nonprofits get an additional $250, and every time you give, the nonprofit you give to is entered into a contest to win another prize. So keep giving, everybody, okay? All right, so now I am so pleased to welcome 3 terrific leaders in our nonprofit community to help us reflect on the year that we have had. Or has it been a year and a half? I have no sense of time anymore due to COVID. But and really talk about some of the challenges that their organization faced, but also the silver linings that came out of it. Our nonprofit community were on the front lines, in the background, even if you didn't see them, really making sure that services were delivered despite everything that was going on. And in many cases, those services had to increase. In many cases, the revenue for organizations disappeared. In many cases, nonprofits had to do a complete pivot just like many other businesses, about how to deliver the services that were so needed. So that's what we're here to reflect upon today. So it's my pleasure to introduce our three silver lining heroes. That's what I'm going to call you to you. So we have Patrice Baker from Greater Seacoast Community Health, Tim Horgan from the World Affairs Council of New Hampshire. Oh, I like the waves. That's nice. And Jessica Gorham from New Hampshire Hunger Solutions. Thank you all so much for being with us. I appreciate it. So we're going to start with Patrice. So Patrice, if you could just tell us about what Greater Seacoast Community Health does and what you do at the organization.
Sure, thanks. So Greater Seacoast Community Health is a network of nonprofit community health centers that includes Goodwin Community Health in Somersworth, Families First Health and Support Center in Portsmouth, and Lilac City Pediatrics in Rochester. And our mission is to deliver compassionate, integrated health services and supports that are accessible to all people in our community, regardless of their ability to pay. So beyond primary care, medical health, we provide behavioral health for kids and adults, prenatal health and women's health, dental health, substance use disorder treatment services, pediatrics. We have a family center that offers family support and family programming, mobile health program, a pharmacy, and then lots of other wraparound services. So our goal is to really help boost sort of health, happiness, and hope in our communities.
Health, happiness, and hope. Boy, that's a good triple H. I'll tell you. It's better than heat, humidity, and whatever the third.
Hazy, hot, and humid, right?
Yeah, hazy, hot, and humid. That's better. Yeah, but that's great. And what do you do, Patrice?
Oh, right. So I'm the parent education manager. So I work in the Family Resource Center, and we do parent programming and family supports at a few different sites. At Families First, we have programming in Portsmouth and Somersworth. We have off-site locations in Epping and Exeter where we run play groups. And then we have home visiting programs where our home visitors go meet with people in their homes one-on-one and provide support that way.
Wow. Fantastic. Very, very vast array of services. That's terrific. Okay, let's move to Tim. And Tim, same question for you for the World Affairs Council of New Hampshire. Tell us, what you do with the organization and what is the World Affairs Council of New Hampshire?
Sure. Well, thank you first to the Center for Nonprofits for this wonderful opportunity. We really are appreciative of New Hampshire Gives and what it means for the general wider nonprofit network. The World Affairs Council of New Hampshire is an educational organization dedicated to helping people better understand complex global issues. We do this through a number of initiatives, including speakers programs, Global in the Granite State podcast, an international visitor exchange program with the U.S. Department of State, and some high school education programs as well. We really want people to know and understand what is going on around the world in order to be better global citizens and be able to actively engage in this global community that we find ourselves in. As I keep telling people, and the pandemic has definitely shown us the world is not going away, even if we want it to. It is here to stay. So it is in all of our interests in order to understand what is going on. So I'm the executive director. I've been with the organization for about 12 years, having actually started off as an AmeriCorps member and working my way up the ladder there. So it's been a wonderful organization to work for, and we really appreciate opportunities like this to get the word out about what we're doing.
Yeah, that's great. So Tim, that global perspective, right? It just touches every aspect of life today where it really didn't, just 30 years ago. So I think it's fantastic to have an organization that is all about bringing understanding about living in a global world, and that we all have a place, even though we're right here in New Hampshire, we're still global. So It's great.
Yeah, I would just add that, it's tough these days to know where to turn to find reliable information with all of the different disinformation flying around out there. And we really hope that we can provide the opportunity for people to hear from experts, to hear from people with the lived experiences in these countries in order to better understand what is really happening and removing those filters and those opportunities to be misled.
Yeah. A lot of preconceived notions out there, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, that's wonderful, Tim. All right, let's move to Jessica. So Jessica, same question. Tell us what you do at New Hampshire Hunger Solutions, and tell us what is New Hampshire Hunger Solutions and what do you do?
Yeah, thank you, Jeanine. So New Hampshire Hunger Solutions is a statewide advocacy organization that's working to address the root cause issues of hunger in New Hampshire. And we're working to remove the barriers to nutrition support programs like school meals, WIC, and SNAP and EBT. Wow. I was just recently hired as the deputy director back in April. However, I've been working with New Hampshire Hunger Solutions as a consultant for about 3 years. Most of my job is improving school meal participation. And I know I'll talk more about that in the silver linings portion of this event. But yes, it's really been rewarding to be able to help, feed more children. And a lot of it is through collaboration. So I am a networker by trade and just kind of naturally. And I like to connect people together when there's a resource and a need. And a lot of the work that we're doing is just, connecting people together so they can talk and figure out how to feed more kids.
That's fantastic. That especially this past year, right? What a challenge it has been to be able to reach the people who needed it the most, the kids who needed it the most, because they weren't in their traditional settings. So I don't mean to take away your, I'm sure you'll have much more to say about this, but just my own observations. So that's great. And I love what you said, Jessica, about being a natural connector. I think that's a thread that runs through our nonprofit world, that the people and our organizations are connected to each other, and that there is not a competition, not an environment of competition, but rather an environment of cooperation. And that is so special. And I can just see that with all three of you. And I think that's just great. It just occurs to me that I don't think I introduced myself at the beginning of the segment. So I'm just going to take a minute to do that. And sorry if I did and I can't remember. But anyway, my name is Jeanine and I am president of Jeanine Company, which is a nonprofit. Well, I'm not a nonprofit, but I work with nonprofits as a consultant and help them to be strong through leadership and empowerment. So that's the goal of Jeanine Company. And then the other role that is very near and dear to my heart is that I am a board member for the New Hampshire Center for Nonprofits. So anyway, that's me. But enough about me. We're going to get back to these fabulous organizations. So let's go back to Patrice. Patrice, I'm wondering if you could tell us about some of the challenges that your organization faced during the pandemic and how you were able to get some silver linings out of those.
Well, I remember sitting in a room right before I was ready to teach a parenting class, and we were in about week 9 of 12 weeks. And one of our directors of our organization came in and explained to me that this would be the last class, that we were shutting down all in-person groups starting the next day. So it all happened so suddenly. That was just for like the parent education programs, but all of the, having to do that really quick pivot for people's medical care to switch from in-person visits to telehealth and, behavioral health through telehealth. And it was just, it's so critical for people's health. And we had to make that switch very quickly. So that was just a huge challenge. But did you want me to talk about some silver linings that we're thinking about too?
Yeah. So and tie that back.
I think one thing is this pandemic really magnified the importance of community health in general, and then specifically community health centers, because we really learned that we all are healthier when everybody can have access to care, and that, you know, our community, we need to work together to keep all of us safe. So I think community health really had kind of a spotlight shined on it. And then we were able to provide COVID-19 testing, and our public health network coordinated vaccine distribution and staffing vaccine clinics. So we really were right there in it and providing some important services for communities. Another great silver lining is that it just inspired us to really think about how else we can reach patients and families and clients and deliver services. So I have to say, in the parent education side of things, we are all kind of like, how did we not think of this before? Doing parenting groups on Zoom turned out to be a wonderful thing. It increased access for people that would not have been able to get to our center. Transportation is such a problem in New Hampshire. We don't have great public transportation. So people came to our, one woman was at a parenting group from a rehab hospital. From her hospital, she was able to join this group and had this wonderful connection for 12 weeks with a whole group of parents. And we, worked together and learned together. And, that's just one example. But really, this idea of reaching people through, technology is something I think that's definitely here to stay. And it created access for people that didn't have access. So it was a great lesson that way. And I think one other small silver lining that came to mind was, this is sort of more internal, but we have frontline workers at our community health centers who needed to show up every day, or our patients would not have caregivers. And those people had kids who were at home needing to be on school all day, young kids. So we were able to set up a learning center in our organization for our frontline workers. And it was such a wonderful opportunity to be able to care for them and to sort of support people in realizing that you're not in this alone. Our organization is here for you. And we set this up within a few weeks, and we were able to host online learning for kids for months. They came to our center every day, and we had staffing to, supervise their online things. So that was kind of a nice thing for our organization. But I think just, community health is something that we're all aware of now, the importance of that. And, we learned a lot of important lessons. So.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you really took advantage of those silver linings internally and externally, right? And that's what an incredible thing to be able to say, that, you're able to, take care of your staff and take care of their own families, where your mission is to take care of other people's families.
Right.
So it's really, that's remarkable. That is really fantastic. I like the funnel effect of that silver lining story. That's really great. Thank you so much, Patrice.
You're welcome.
Let's move on to Tim. And, Tim, so tell us about, you were all about being at World Affairs Council, about, people coming together, right? So, so what happened, and how did you adapt, and what were the good things that came out of it?
Yeah, so for us, building connections, building community is so very important to our work. And the best way we can do that is by being in person. So all of our speakers programs have been in person in the past. Our international exchanges, how do you do an international exchange without bringing people to the country? And in the middle of a pandemic, that's not at all possible. So we had to really rethink a lot of our models, a lot of our ways to work. When the pandemic first hit, we had a academic World Quest program set up for high school students to come and compete for a national competition down in DC. And that was scheduled for March 15th. So right before the pandemic hit. And we unfortunately were unable to host it, but we were able to this year reimagine that program into an online opportunity for students to compete. And as with many of our other programs, it really opened up the opportunity to collaborate with people from across the state and across the country even. So for the Academic World Quest, we brought together teams from 9 different states. We had over 120 students competing in our regional competition. And they had a great time. They got to meet each other, talk to each other. And that's something that never would have happened if we had remained fully in person. Same with our speakers programs. We went from a organization that was very much focused on Southern New Hampshire, the Manchester corridor, out to the seacoast. But by bringing our programs online, we were able to engage a much wider audience. We increased the viewership of our programs by over 120%. We saw people from over 26 different countries and even 26 states and over 45 countries participate in our program. So we went from a very local sort of organization to one that truly is now a global organization. And that's something that we hope to continue with our online programs. Even when we go back to in-person, we want to continue to provide fully virtual as well as hybrid programs so that people can continue to engage and get this vital information. And then for our international visitor exchanges, we were in a fortunate spot in that we had previously done a little bit of virtual exchanges in the past. We had tested some things out, so we had a bit of a head start on our partner sister agencies throughout the country. But being able to bring these people to New Hampshire in a new and different way, it really opened up actually to a lot of people who would not have the opportunity to visit the state in the past. People from countries where the State Department only allocates 1 or 2 slots per year. They now have the opportunity to send 20, 30, 40, 50 people on these programs because of the virtual aspect. And again, we are hoping to be able to continue to bring some virtual aspects, take the positives of what we've learned throughout this process and integrate them back into our in-person programming once we are able to do that and it's deemed safe again. So really for us, it has been a challenging experience, of course, but something that our staff has really risen to the challenge of and reimagining these programs in order to continue to do the good work that we've been doing for almost 70 years now, just in a new way and a new format. And the ultimate silver lining is that this really opens it up to a lot of people who may not have, even here in New Hampshire, thought of attending one of our events before. As was mentioned before, it's hard to find public transportation sometimes. So being able to zoom in at the time of the event or even watch the recording, people are able to engage in their own way on their own time. And so it really opens up to a much wider and diverse audience than what we had before.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. What a way to take technology and really use it to your advantage and to continue to use it to your advantage. I mean, that's remarkable. And as you said earlier, understanding on a global scale starts with every individual. And so to be able to create those personalized opportunities, even in group settings, is just, I commend you. That's really, really wonderful. Thank you so much, Tim. That's
Thank
great.
you.
Jessica, let's wrap up the conversation with you at New Hampshire Hunger Solutions. Again, I can only imagine the challenges that your organization faced, and then what were some of the good silver lining things that came out of all that?
Yeah, so we ended our last part of the conversation talking about networks, and I just want to take this minute to thank all of the social service and healthcare organizations out there that really stepped up to the plate to feed children and people, our more vulnerable populations like seniors, and getting meals to people where they were at. It was amazing to see everybody come together. So thank you to all of New Hampshire Hunger Solutions partners out there, because we wouldn't have been able to feed as many kids without you. But that was our challenge. Our challenge was to connect children and families to the food and nutrition that they needed during the pandemic. It was, figuring out how to advocate and get SNAP and EBT available online so people could shop at home safely and get food delivered to them. It was making sure that with universal meals in place. So that's the one silver lining, right? One of ours. Universal meals came in place, which meant that the federal government put waivers to make school meals free for all children under the age of 18. They released a bunch of waivers that allowed families to be able to pick up those meals and pick up 2 or 3 meals at a time. Sometimes they would pick up meals for a whole week. Some schools did groceries, so families could just pick up groceries for the whole week, and it was covered under their school meals. So there was a lot of really creative ways that the community came together to get those universal meals out to as many kids as possible. But it was a challenge because we had to get the word out about, where are the meals? How do you pick them up? How do families pick them up when they're trying to work and homeschool children and do all those things that everybody on this, call is already talked about. So those were some of the things that were challenges, but also silver linings. Free and reduced meal applications are burdensome. They become a barrier. There's language barriers with filling them out. There's a lot of things that come along with that. So that universal meal waiver was a huge silver lining for feeding children and being able to get those meals out to them. So we're hoping that we can see the benefits of those universal meals in place and get the federal government, because we're an advocacy organization too. So getting the federal government to keep those policies in place and make them more permanent. And because universal meals became about, when schools went back in person, or the schools that were in person, they did breakfast in the classroom. And that's a best practice model that we know feeds the most children. Also for middle and high schools, it's a grab and go second chance breakfast where they can eat between 8:30 and 9:30 in the morning. So schools that were implementing those saw huge increases in their breakfast participation and in their reimbursements, which means more money for more quality, healthy food to go into children's bellies. Also means that kids weren't hungry. I just heard from a school nurse the other day that she gets 25 hunger visits a day in her office. So with these in place, she's able to work with the school food service director to get those children a meal so that they have something and that the food isn't coming out of the school nurse's pocket. So this is, another really huge silver lining is getting as many kids fed as possible, doing breakfast in the classroom, doing grab and go breakfast for the older children, and making sure that there's, a huge reduction in school nurse visits related to hunger. And our very last, we have so many silver linings, but the one I'm going to talk about today, right, is when we had to also adapt and pivot because we were in the middle of the New Hampshire School Breakfast Challenge. And all of a sudden, our school food service directors were completely overwhelmed and did not have the time or ability to participate in a school breakfast challenge, right? They're just figuring out how are they going to find kids? How are they going to keep workers making food for children? There were a lot of challenges they faced. So we were able to use that time to create a toolkit. And now this toolkit will be posted on our website for school food service directors and school administrators to use to improve school breakfast participation in their school districts. So we're really excited about these silver linings and our ability to, end childhood hunger in New Hampshire. We have really good federal programs that are underutilized in our state. I will mention that we're number 47th out of all of the states for school breakfast participation. Yeah. So we hope that after this next upcoming year, because school meals are free again in school year 2021, 2022. Right. So, and kids will be in school in person with fingers crossed, right, that nothing changes. And we know that we are going to be able to move that number up and feed lots of children.
That is fantastic. Wow. I'm so humbled and honored to have been able to spend this time with all of you. I just want to bring it back to something that Patrice said so eloquently, health, happiness, and hope. And I want to add another H. I want to add honoring, because in many ways, the global nature and local nature of what you do honors all of those different things. And I want to say that New Hampshire Center for Nonprofits honors all of you and all the other nonprofits for incredible work that you are doing to make New Hampshire a great place that it is for everybody here and globally as well, Tim. I want to make sure that that's important in there. So, so thank you all so much for sharing your challenges and silver linings for this past, however whatever time frame it was, and hopeful that we're going forward into better times ahead for everyone, which is becoming quite apparent through New Hampshire Gives, because we're just over $2.85 million, almost to 11,000 donors, which is fantastic. So thank you all so much for joining us today. Really appreciate everything that you do. And I want to just give a huge shout out to our giving guy, Chris. He is awesome. So I've only done 3 live streams and I'm pretty tired. And so I can only imagine him doing this whole time. So Chris, round of applause, whatever you want.
Hey. Should I hit the applause button? There you go. Hey, I wanted to jump on before everybody left and just say thank you to each of you for all the great work that you do with your individual nonprofits. And, while I appreciate the gratitude coming my way, I do what I do because of the stories that you guys are telling here today. And I'm just very, very honored for a chance to participate in NH Gives this year and to meet each and every one of you today. I want to say thanks to all our hosts today as well. Jeanine has been fantastic all afternoon and really just have really enjoyed listening all day long. So thank you to each and every one of you guys, whether you're still on the video now or not, but Tim and Jessica and Patrice, thank you guys so much for being here. And we've got some more fun stuff planned coming up here. So we're going to roll some more videos. And before we do that, I do want to encourage everybody to stick around as well. I'm going to show you actually some outtakes from the trivia game that we have pre-recorded with some awesome organizations. That we're going to roll that at 2:00. So here's a quick little preview of that, Jeanine, and then we'll roll those videos here from the Seacoast. And then we'll be back live again at 2:00.
Fantastic.
If Deborah requests an outtakes reel, we can make that happen.
We got that going.
I'm not going to hang around and see because I want to be surprised at who wins. But
I'll have to text you, Deborah.
Don't ruin it for me, Chris. Don't ruin it.
It won't be confusing to me, but I'm happy to change it if you.
Here.
I think I'm is... more as a Phoebe than a Monica anyway.
If you want to just talk amongst yourselves for a second.
We shall. Talk amongst ourselves. Here we go. It's like butter.
It's so rare my name is spelled correctly, I just don't even look anymore.
It's 2E extra excellent. That's what I always say. This is what we should be recording, the outtakes of how we are together.
Don't worry. I hit the record button a few minutes ago, so we're good to go. Oops, I muted us again. I had so much fun producing that trivia hour the other day, or that trivia half hour, I should say. So I really can't wait to share that with everybody here in the 2:00 hour. And again, I did want to thank you and all of the hosts who have been rotating through today and been so gracious and kind, both with your words and with your time. So I appreciate you. And hopefully we'll get a chance to connect sometime in the future.
That would be fantastic. It's been an honor, and I cannot wait to watch the trivia at 2:00. All right. Keep giving, New Hampshire. We're at 3.9.
Exactly. I've got a graphic that I want to play for that 3 million. So come on, guys. We're waiting for those donations. All right.
All right. Bye, everybody.
See you later.
Education for All Children believes in the power of education to break the cycle of poverty.
I used to live far from my father. I think he was still discouraged because our community was telling him to marry another woman in order to provide for him a son who could study and be of great value.
So
For nearly 50% of kids in Kenya, school ends at 8th grade. For girls, that often means an early marriage, motherhood, and a continued cycle of poverty.
They don't value girls. So it's like, if they don't value girls, what do I gain? It means that I will have to vanish like other girls who are in my community.
EFAC provides scholarships to nearly 600 extremely bright students from Kenya's poorest communities. 2/3 of those scholarships go to girls.
When I got the EFAC scholarship, I was so glad.
Educating a girl changes not only her life, but the lives of those around her.
It made my father come back to us. He even values us more. He doesn't even consider what our community is telling him. He has even taken the opportunity to look for a better job and also educate my second sister and my third sister.
Mary is heading to college this year, where she plans to study mechanical engineering. She's the first person in her family to go beyond 8th grade. When she graduates, she will join other young EFAC scholars who are changing their future, the future of their families, and the future of Kenya. Education changes lives.
Hello, my name is Nathaniel. Please give lots and tons and millions of money to the Friends in Action.
Why should they give?
I have been doing Zooms a lot, and I did basketball and Friday night socials and dance and pizza. And I have so much fun doing that, and I did Wildcat Friends a long time ago. No, I can't do that right now, so please give lots and tons of money, please.
On North Hill, above the town common in the heart of Northampton, New Hampshire, sits a community treasure and historic landmark. Centennial Hall. Built in 1876 and gifted to the citizens by native son John Hobbs, this beautiful building's first purpose was as a schoolhouse. For 73 years, generations of children attended classes here. There are still Northampton residents who are proud alumni.
We didn't lack anything as far as education was concerned. In elementary school, I think we did good.
We sang, didn't we?
We had a music. Yes, we did. We had our music teacher. Do you remember Mrs. Coombs, Esther Coombs?
Yeah.
You know how I remember her? Because her slip was always showing.
Because we had inkwells that went into the desk, and we had wooden pens with a metal point on them, and we dipped them in that and wrote with that.
It has been going for years and years and years, and it kept us warm, all of us. And they built things to last.
Hobbs' gift to the town also included the creation of a new public gathering space on Centennial Hall's second floor. It would become the most important non-religious center of town life and was known as the Grand Ballroom.
I think it's in this space that you begin to get the sense of history and people gathering and the many events that occurred here, the remnants of the stage, just everything about it, the lighting fixtures that are still here, the number of events. You could just picture the talkies being shown in the 30s, all the clubs, all the meetings, all the dances, all the suppers that took place. If only these walls could talk.
The upstairs was so popular, you had to reserve it years in advance, because the fire department from Stratham would want a Valentine dance, and it would always snow. And then there would be somebody that wanted to put on a minstrel show, or some group in Northampton with players, and they'd want to put on a play. And then there were other groups that met up on the 3rd floor that would have chowder parties. They had a kitchen up there, they had a stove up there. They would have Democratic parties, the Republican Party would meet there, the Grange would meet, and all these organizations would meet because it was just the right size hall upstairs to hold 20 people or 150.
But in 1949, the school closed, and this architectural gem went into decline. Fire safety regulations made the grand ballroom inaccessible. The dancing stopped, and the music died. To a whole generation, Centennial Hall would become a stranger. Then, in 1996, a group of citizens, many of them school alumni, stepped forward to save the building. And the campaign to restore Centennial Hall to full and glorious life was launched. It has become once more a lively community center. Hundreds visit it weekly for art lessons, club meetings, and music classes, often in every part of the building. Centennial Hall's best years are still ahead. In 2016, the U.S. Secretary of the Interior designated the building for listing on the National Register of Historic Places. In 2018, the Independent State Authority LCHIP granted Centennial Hall $200,000 towards a $2 million campaign to massively rehabilitate the structure, restore and improve access, and open the ballroom.
You know, there's no better legacy than to continue to love this building, to treasure it, to make it relevant for another whole generation.
Hi, my name is Marcia Fillion. I'm the Executive Director of Hospice Help Foundation. We work with hospices throughout the state in order to boost the comfort and dignity of their patients who are struggling with poverty. Imagine being on hospice and having to worry about an eviction or where your next meal is coming from. Your donation to Hospice Help Foundation will help patients be able to afford essential comforts like rent, food, utilities, and more, so patients are safe and can focus on making every day count. Thank you so much for your support.
Journey Song brings the soothing comfort of choral music to those nearing the end of life. Our 46 hospice singers blend their voices in quartets or slightly larger groups to sing at the bedside of hospice patients in long-term care facilities throughout the Seacoast, New Hampshire, and Maine region. While nursing homes were closed to visitors during the pandemic, Journey Song's mission of musical caring became even more important. From our homes, individual singers and couples continued singing and talking with lonely patients over Zoom. We also created a series of singing greeting card videos that nursing home staff could share with residents and provided Journey Song CDs to area facilities. Thank you so much for your support so we can continue to offer musical comfort during life's final chapter.
Of joyful peace to come. Good night, good night, good night.
Something safer for the kids, a little bigger, something with a fence around it, so we don't have to worry so much about them running off or...
So I think it's important for new generation to have a park for the kids because they need exercise, and it's just a fun pastime for them, and outside time is really important for kids.
Playtime is really important because it unconfuses you, it unstresses you out. You have a lot of fun with your friends. Also, it's just really fun. Being out here for a while now, it's really fun.
I think that it's important to have a playground here so that the children can be free to play and explore. And as a mom, it would be really good too because we can engage with our children and, and I can actually have some time where I'm like watching her play instead of having to engage all the time. She can be on her own for once.
I think that a new playground would be really good for New Gen because it would provide safety, it would provide a good area for the community to come together and be one. And I think it would just be good for the little ones to have an area where they could have outside play too.
We need different ages for playgrounds, some for babies, some for big kids, some for little kids. Please go right now and donate for us.
New Hampshire Theatre Project has completely reinvented theatre this year. Instead of main stage performances, tours, and residencies, we've been live streaming, filmmaking, podcasting, and hosting our award-winning Elf in the Room series and Community Connectors programs online. We've employed over 70 artists and commissioned 20 new artistic works. Still, our earned income is down by 77%. We've had to invest thousands of dollars in new video, audio, and computer equipment, and we have to pay rent, utilities, insurance, and staff salaries whether or not the theater is open. We're excited about the future, but we can't make it happen without your support. This year, please donate to New Hampshire Gives 2021 and help New Hampshire Theatre Project set the stage for what comes next.
The New Hampshire Toy Library Network is a 501c3 nonprofit that was started by college students at UNH Durham and NHTI Concords Community College to give back to their communities. We started because we were realizing that children typically only play with a toy for an average of 35 days. That's barely over a month before those toys can end up in oceans, landfills, incinerators. In fact, that's where 80% of toys do end up. The average U.S. family, meanwhile, spends almost $500 a year on toys alone. For many families, that's completely cost prohibitive, even though the benefits of play are numerous. Scientists learned that it takes 400 repetitions to learn something by rote, but only 10 to 20 through play. On top of this, adaptive toys for children with disabilities can be 2 to 4 times the cost of conventional ones. And 90% of parents of children with disabilities believe their children lack access to play. With all of this in mind, the disability justice and access issues, the environmental issues, and the cost barriers and economic injustice, we decided to provide toys at no cost to the individual through public libraries so that people can borrow toys and return them for reuse. Initially, we had one host site at Dover Public Library. Now we have 3. There's one at Manchester City Library and another site where toys are available for on-site play at Boscawen Public Library. We hope that you will consider donating to our completely volunteer-run organization.
The moment that had the greatest impact on me was the day before Thanksgiving, when hospice called and had found a family at home with no heat. Our board was able to react within about 2 to 3 hours and have oil delivered to their home so that they could enjoy a warm, cozy Thanksgiving.
We're so lucky to work with great leaders who help to support our community thrive and survive, and it was a privilege to get to know and work with so many great people.
When we were able to help a single father who was raising 2 daughters get a new water heater installed in his home during the winter months. This was most memorable because so many people came together to make this happen. It started with a very kind bus driver who contacted the school nurse, who enlisted the help of other school faculty, and eventually involved Women Aid. This truly showed the amazing things that can happen when our community comes together.
In 2006, when we started, Oyster River was hit with some pretty devastating floods. Oyster River Women Aid was able to respond with household items that had been ruined in the floods, and were able to get these things to people right away when they needed them. We had never thought when we organized that we would be responding to a natural disaster, but we did, and we found as the years went on, we responded to whatever the need was.
And the thing I remember is a little different. It's the Quack Fest, which was one of our fundraising events. And it was a rubber duck race down the Oyster River. It brought everybody out in the community, family, fun, barbecue, local musicians, and even what I felt was heartfelt was there were people that we had helped that came to the event because they wanted to give back in some small way.
I think that's the end of our video block here. It's Chris Drubb, the Giving Day guy here, just shy of 2 p.m. We'll be back live here in just a moment. Deborah Clark is going to join us. I'm waiting for her to join in the room. We are also, of course, hopefully you're watching along with us at home. We're watching that number down at the bottom of the screen there, 2.993 million. So looks like we've got a pretty good chance of crossing that $3 million mark here during the 2 p.m. hour. Just very, very grateful for the opportunity to be here and be able to share these moments with you. And as I mentioned, if you've been watching all day long, I got the celebratory video to queue up here once that dollar mark hits. So let's just hang on here. We'll wait for Deborah to join back in. We'll put on a little thematic music for you here as we get ready to cross it. Someone in New Hampshire is about to make that donation that's going to cross that $3 million mark, Deborah. There it is. It has happened. Deborah Clark, $3 million. Right
amazing.
At the 2 p.m. mark here.
Yes, I jumped on right at the right time.
You timed that pretty good.
I might have been peeking. I might have been.
Might have been peeking. Let's get this graphic up here to play. Deborah Clark from the New Hampshire Center for Nonprofits. It's a momentous moment. It's 2 p.m. here in the Eastern Time Zone, and the wonderful donors of the state of New Hampshire have just crossed that $3 million mark. How you guys feeling?
Feeling great. I have a feeling that the nonprofits have something in store for us. So don't count things out yet. We're still going. I think there's a few that have some maybe surprises up their sleeves. So I want to draw people's attention to the matches page, because that's what I'm talking about. There are still over $400,000 in organizational matches available out there. So if you go to the menu on the site and click on matches, you can see all of the active matches that are available right now, and there's a ton of them. But you need to check back after 3 o'clock and after 4 o'clock, because I know that there's some more coming and that they might be big. So we want to make sure that we match all of those dollars before 5 o'clock.
Deborah, you guys always have something up your sleeve.
Yeah.
It's a very special day here. We're 21 plus hours through NH Gives 2021. And this will be my last hour of running the show. In under an hour now, we're going to throw it back to the NHPBS studios. So shout out to the fellas there if they're watching. I know we had a lot of fun with them last night as well. Deborah, this has been a pretty successful day so far all around. And just it feels really good to know that these 583 nonprofits, well, let's see, 567 so far, and I expect that number to climb a little bit as well, are seeing this, seeing the benefits of this wonderful day that's really becoming something of a holiday in New Hampshire.
Yeah, Chris, for people who don't know me, I'm Deborah Clark. I'm the New Hampshire Gives project lead here at the New Hampshire Center for Nonprofits. I've been doing this since 2016, and we've seen exponential growth. It's just amazing. And this year was really cool because all of this live stream content gave us the opportunity to watch these great clips and interviews and discussions that we've had so far, and there's more to come. And those brought so much joy to see how these people were adapting to different situations and what they were doing, and learning more about organizations that I didn't know a lot about. And what really gave me the most pleasure was seeing those organizations who got this opportunity to be live, calling out other organizations and saying, we love this organization and you should donate to them, because that's what New Hampshire Gives is all about for me. It's all about that spirit of camaraderie between organizations in the sector. I see donations coming in all day long where I see one nonprofit leader giving to another nonprofit. And, that is just so heartwarming. And that is why I keep coming back and putting in all the crazy time that we put in to help the nonprofits be successful during this endeavor. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody who was able to do that, and say it really touches me.
Yeah. And Deborah, I don't know if I've really introduced myself either. My name's Chris Strub. I work as the Giving Day guy. I work with Giving Days around the US and really help them create these live streamed moments. This is my 15th Giving Day. Been doing them since 2017 around the US. And, if there's one thing, Deborah, that I know about Giving Days, it is that they are 24 hours of gratitude. So the first thing I want to do is say thank you to you for giving me a chance to work with you and your team this year. I first called Deborah back in late 2018 because I saw how special NH Gives was, and I've wanted to be a part of it for quite a while. And Deborah knows every 3-4 months I'm on the phone with her saying, hey, how about this year? How about this year? And this is the year we made it happen. And so Deborah and Kathleen, thank you guys. I also really feel compelled to shout out everybody on our Slack channel, everyone from the PBS team to Mary Jo and KO, and everyone who is volunteering their time as our social media, what's the word I'm looking for? Just
the insider team. Yeah.
An all-star team. Exactly. The insider team.
People watching don't know that we have over 30 skilled volunteers working with us this year to make this happen. They have done things from reaching out to businesses and community members, to being on our social media channels and promoting stuff that we're posting. And Mary Jo and Kristen they're crazy dedicated to this cause, and they've done so much to grow New Hampshire Gives, and we're so grateful for them and for everybody on the team. It's an amazing outpouring. Whenever you just say, can you help out with New Hampshire Gives, I haven't gotten a no. I haven't.
Yeah, it's a testament to just how special a day this is. And I say this every time I work at Giving Day, but I've got a front row seat and, a master's education here in learning from all these great nonprofits that we've spoken to today. I will also want to thank all of our great hosts who have been really just gracious with their time and their energy and their creativity.
They were amazing.
Last night and today. It's been a lot of fun. And the fun part is, Deborah, I get all sappy at the end of a Giving Day, but we're nowhere close to the end of the Giving Day. We've got a lot more fun stuff planned. Again, at just before 3 o'clock, I suspect we're going to throw it back over to the fellas at PBS. Yeah. Before we do that, though, I do have one last guest that we do want to say hi to as well. He's waiting in the wings. I'm going to give him my spot here, and maybe Deborah, you can say hello. But his name is Nick Walker. And Nick, I'm going to make sure that you unmuted yourself. He was very careful when he joined the stream not to speak over those great videos that we were talking about. But Nick is one of my good friends from Switcher Studio, and we really do just want to say hello to Nick.
Yes. Thank you, Nick. Nick is the reason that we have Chris here this year. It's always been a point of, I love Chris, I love what he does, and we just have never had the budget for him. And so Switcher Studio made this possible this year for us to have Chris, to have a dedicated streaming person available to us for as many hours as we did. We would have had a much more limited schedule without Switcher Studio and Chris Strubb this year. So welcome, Nick.
Thank you so much. It's, we're just super excited to be here. I wasn't super familiar with Giving Days until I had the amazing chance to meet Chris several months ago. And ever since then, though, I've become such a firm believer in, what you guys do and really a lot of the other Giving Days that we see around the country. And I know all the folks at Switcher Studio too were so excited that we could be part of today, even in the small part that we're playing. Chris couldn't be a better person for us to work with in terms of just how he uses Switcher for such in such an awesome way for such great causes.
Definitely. It's been great being in the back end of Switcher Studio today, learning about it and seeing how it works. It's the cool thing about it is that just one person can do it. Our other live stream with New Hampshire PBS has a lot of people involved, and so it's a little different, but Chris is a one-man show here.
Yeah, while I really appreciate the kind words, Deborah, and, I have pressed most of the buttons here today. The reason that I do what I do, as I mentioned, is because of all of these incredibly special people that I've had a chance to meet. And it's impossible for me to sum up how blessed I feel to get to do what I do. And I can't do it without either one of you guys. So I'm just extremely grateful to be in this position. It has nothing to do with me and everything to do with all the great nonprofits whose videos we've seen today, whom we've met in person, who I've had some great behind the scenes conversations with here in what we call the Switcher Studio Green Room. And, I think it is worth mentioning, though, that this platform really does make these sort of interactions possible. A lot of the folks today have talked about Zoom culture and how we've been able to stay connected over the last year plus using virtual options. And Switcher has really been a great vehicle for me to be able to take that Zoom concept to the next level and really help try and create something special that hopefully everybody has enjoyed watching as much as I've enjoyed producing it. Nick, I know you've been watching from your new home there in Louisville. How are we doing so far today on the video front?
It's fantastic. I've enjoyed it. It's been so cool to watch, and congratulations on exceeding that threshold of of 3 million. That's so cool. So congratulations to you guys. It wasn't the video that did it, but again, I'm glad that we could be a part of it in some way. So,
well, Deborah, we have another not surprise plan because we've been pushing it, but we do have coming up here our trivia hour. Do you want to tell the folks about what we might see here in a minute?
Sure. I had this idea way back, probably in January. I'm like, if we do a live stream, I want to get some really cool people and do a game show, because we have some awesome, funny people in the nonprofit sector. And so I had a vision, and I had definitely one person in mind, and I wanted to get feedback from other people. And, you know, Mary Jo and Kristen and I talked about it, and we were like, oh yeah, so-and-so is really funny, and so-and-so is great. And so we picked out 4 people who were originally going to be all contestants, and we had a different setup going on, but that didn't work out due to timing. And so we just turned one of our contestants, Steve Varnum, into a game show host, which just seemed like a very natural role for him. And anybody who knows Steve will probably agree with me. And so I asked Chris to organize this recording of this game show with Monica Zuloff from the Mayhew program, Betsy Andrews Parker from Stratford Cap, and Eileen Laponis from the Food Bank, who are all just hilarious and all extremely competitive as far as I have heard, because they all wanted to win this game show, and it was just for bragging rights. Nobody got any money. It was just bragging rights. I have not seen the video of it yet, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I think I'm the only one that's seen it. I'm the only one other than the contestants and Steve. No one else has seen this.
Yeah.
So, and I know who won as well. I won't share that quite yet.
I did get spoiled on that. I did find that out, but I won't spoil it here. But yeah, I just think it's a fun thing to do, is just for us to do to kind of end this part of the live stream with a little bit of a fun activity, and then go out with some more videos until we hand it back to the New Hampshire PBS team. And we're so grateful for them as well to be able to pick it up and have Greg and Scott. They've been amazing. They're all in. They've been so supportive of this day, and I know that their outreach has connected us with a lot of other people as well. So it's a day of gratitude. I am so grateful for everything.
Deborah, you know what I need to do here before we sign off? I need to channel my inner Steve and Greg and just kind of like
throw some papers. Yeah.
There you go. That's for you, KO. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're going to need to tune into that PBS stream at 3 p.m. Before I press play on this game show segment, I do just want to play our last little clip here from Switcher Studio. I'm going to put a URL up on the screen. So if you are interested in getting started with Switcher Studio, Switcher and Nick have graciously offered a free professional plan 30-day trial. So you can use my special link that I'm going to put at the bottom of the screen here. That's what's kind of cool about Switcher, is I can just press the button and there it is. Right, Nick? So there you go. It's is.gd/switchernh. Or if you go to switcherstudio.com and you use the discount code GIVE30, you can sign up and get 30 free days of Switcher Studio. You can play around with it, and you can read on my website, givingday.com, about all the fun things that you can do with that. So Nick, thank you for taking some time out of your schedule to join us today. And again, thank you for allowing me to do this. Deborah, again, cannot say thank you enough to you. And I'll see you guys in the comment section at 3 p.m. With that PBS.
Thanks so much, Chris. And thank you, Deborah.
Thanks, Nick.
We'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
What's 6 times more engaging than video? Live video. Switcher Studio lets you create amazing live video. Switch angles, add graphics, invite guests, all on iPhones and iPads, and stream it anywhere. Start your free trial at switcherstudio.com.
NH Gives is New Hampshire's largest single day of giving to the nonprofits that make all of our communities better places to live.
This year, New Hampshire Gives is going to run for 24 straight hours, kicking it off at 5 p.m. June 8th, running to 5 p.m. June 9th at nhgives.org.
And you'll be able to give to any one of 550 different agencies of your choice.
Give as little as $5 if you want.
And we can match it to double your money.
Remember, June 8th, 5 p.m., nhgives.org.
Did you have, is there anything like that we want to like, you were talking about bragging rights?
Yeah, I was thinking that the quote-unquote losers could do a shout-out on social media to the winner on the day, you know, when this is being broadcast. Just kind of share it and, you know, congratulate them and wish them luck for New Hampshire Gives. I think that is, that's the spirit of New Hampshire Gives, to be supporting other organizations as well as your own. And so if you guys are cool with that and you want to do that, that would be cool.
I want a trophy to put over here that I would probably display on every Zoom.
I'll get you a
trophy. Like, I was going for a trophy.
Clearly, we're different generations.
We've got everyone gets a trophy. There we go.
Design a Zoom background. New Hampshire Gives trivia winner.
Oh,
and you'll have the sole right to use it for a year.
I am it's like getting like for Wait, Don't Tell Me, the voice on your answering machine. Yes, I totally want that background. Yes.
Welcome to New Hampshire Gives Trivia 2021 edition. My name's Steve Arnhem. I'm your host. I'm from the New Hampshire Community Loan Fund, and we're going to have a good time. We're back at New Hampshire Gives Trivia, and we have three great contestants playing for bragging rights and maybe even a Zoom background. We'll see how that goes. But first, I want to introduce from the Mayhew program, Monica.
Thank you, Steve. And thank you to the Center of New Hampshire Nonprofits and the Charitable Foundation for making today happen. The Mayhew program's been serving at-risk New Hampshire boys for over 52 years now, and this summer we will be out on Mayhew Island, having taken a pause last summer. So thank you, and I hope I get the bragging rights.
Mayhew was a crossroads for me, taking that more positive path for the rest of my life.
I was a terrible kid, man.
I never wanted to get in trouble. It's just, it happens because I'm impulsive.
What we do with the guys from the time they're 10 years old is really try to instill in them respect, responsibility, community, and challenge, that these values are important, and how to sort of reroute their decision-making process back to these values.
While I was growing up, they were there, and instead of me doing this, they were just like right there with me. It's very nice.
They don't tell you to do it, they tell you that you should try.
When I went there, I felt like I could do like anything. I kind of like wanted to step up and be a leader.
It feels amazing having that kind of support because it makes you feel like you can accomplish anything.
All right, great program, Mayhew. Our second contestant from Community Action of Stratford County, I'd like to introduce Betsy.
Hey everyone, how are you? I'm Betsy Parker. I'm the CEO of the Community Action Partnership of Stratford County, and we are thrilled to be here today, not just to talk about New Hampshire Gives, but just to support nonprofits here. Community Action is a leading anti-poverty organization in Stratford County. We're one of 5 CAPs in the state. And not only do we do our work, but we really couldn't do our work without everyone else here. And we're proud to be here today. And we are looking to take home this crown. So here we go. People don't realize the extent of our services. We have over 64 unique programs, things such as fuel assistance. We have a huge food and nutrition outreach program, extensive housing program, which helps with security deposits, first month's rent, back utilities, things that help prevent eviction. And I love being able to be here and really help give a voice to what's happening in our community and hopefully try and solve some of those issues that are impacting people.
Our son, Nikito, he's in early Head Start.
His home visitor, she always bring some advice for the parents stuff. It helped me a lot.
Don't be afraid to use the programs that are out there. These people are here to help you and walk you through it.
I think the best thing about supporting community actions with your dollars is that everything stays local. If you want to see the power of your dollar amplified, invest it into community action, because that's what we're doing, is we're investing in local people and real local problems.
That's Community Action Partnership. Community in action. I love that. You got to love that. Our third contestant from the New Hampshire Food Bank, I'd like to introduce Eileen.
Hi, y'all. Eileen Laponis from New Hampshire Food Bank. I'm honored to be the executive director, and I'm honored to be locking arms with such fine nonprofits today, all doing the work that we need to be doing for our New Hampshire communities. It's been a particularly tough year. We have 400 agencies throughout the state who really did a bang-up job during COVID, and we're very grateful to all of them. They are our real soldiers in the field. So thank you to all our 400 agencies throughout the state, and I'm going to do my best to represent for you.
2020 was a pivotal year for the New Hampshire Food Bank and food banks across the country responding to the COVID-19 crisis. Record job losses and economic challenges swept the nation, forcing families into difficult and unforeseen situations. It was not long before food insecurity was on the rise. With the help of our community and generous donors, we persevered to help our neighbors. Because of individuals like you, we were able to distribute more than 17 million pounds of food across the state through our network of more than 400 partner agencies and outreach programs, providing more than 14 million meals to our neighbors experiencing food insecurity. While we made important strides last year to meet the growing need, there is still much work to be done. For every dollar donated to our organization, we can provide approximately 2 nutritious meals to a neighbor in need. Whether you donate, volunteer, or help us raise awareness of hunger, you become part of the solution. Because working together, we can solve hunger.
I heard $1 for 2 meals. Gotta love that. New Hampshire Food Bank dishing out millions of meals to deserving New Hampshire people. Thank you all for the work you do. You're fabulous. Your programs are. And now, are we ready?
Yes.
All right. We're going to hit the trivia. Question 1. What nonprofit owns 2 houses designed by architect Frank Lloyd Wright? Looks like Monica. What do you got?
The Courier.
Yes. Absolutely. The answer is the Courier Museum. And Monica is on the board. All right. Question 2. In the first year of New Hampshire Gives, more than $180,000 was raised for 281 nonprofits. What year was it?
I'll guess.
Monica.
I'm guessing. 2016.
You are correct.
What? All right. You were sent the answers ahead of time.
They're all written on my arm.
Oh, I had the question wrong. I'm sorry.
Does she have 12 points or 2 points?
Did I go back to question 2? Question 3. Noted as the oldest children's charitable organization in the state, this nonprofit was founded in 1850 as the Manchester City Missionary Society. Monica.
Sorry. Waypoint.
Waypoint it is. And Monica takes a commanding lead. I would say let's look at the scoreboard, but the scoreboard's all Monica.
I swear I rung it on that one.
First one to ring in as soon as Steve is done reading the question. Is that fair?
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. I'm sorry. We're figuring it out.
Right. We ready to go? All right. Question 4. We all know Franklin Pierce hailed from Hillsborough, New Hampshire. But who was Franklin Pierce's vice president?
Oh my gosh. I am not representing Concord school districts very well, am I? After we did this.
If you guys want to look it up, we'll
can
allow
cheat.
you.
Nobody told me to cheat.
Well, somebody's got to get it.
No guesses?
We'll give everybody 30 seconds.
Oh, we got Betsy.
Would that be William R. King?
That would be William R. King.
Oh, man.
Is there a phone a friend? Anything? Can I lean out the door and ask anyone for some help here? What are we doing? What are the rules? I'm going to make up my own rules. All right.
What, you mean you don't have a screen to the side where you're Googling this stuff immediately?
Maybe I have a screen to the side that I'm Googling while I'm doing.
Betsy, you got to step it up, man.
I am. Okay.
I didn't know the rules.
Question 5. This New Hampshire native became the first American in space in 1961.
That is Eileen. I'll give it to her.
I think we got Eileen.
Yep.
The answer.
Alan Shepard.
Alan Shepard it is.
1. I just don't want to get skunked.
All right.
You're on the board.
Everyone is on the board. And we're halfway through our questions. Okay. Question 6. Inventor Dean Kamen founded this organization to help young people discover the excitement and rewards of science and technology. Based in...
Finish the question, Steve.
All right.
Finish the question, Steve.
Based in Manchester's Millyard, this national organization reaches students in more than 110 countries.
That was me.
Looks like Eileen. Looks like Eileen buzzed in first. What do you got?
First.
That is correct.
That's maybe for New Hampshire Gives, we're going to get an official scoreboard for next year. So
maybe we can be in person.
Yeah.
We've made it this far without my flimsy music stand falling over. So let's hope for the best. Question 7. Who's the director of the Charitable Trust Unit of the Attorney General's Office?
I can picture him.
It used to.
Oh, she's Googling it.
Is it Bud?
No.
No. Any other answers?
I want to say her first name's Anne.
No.
Okay.
Eileen?
Nope.
Never mind. Is it Tom Donovan?
It is Tom Donovan. You are right.
I could picture him, and I couldn't come up with his name.
I am totally believing you have these questions in advance.
And I'm like the worst Googler in the world. So I have a trustee calling me now.
All right, looking at the scoreboard, we have Monica with 4, Betsy with 1, even with the help of her phone, and Eileen with 2. Which
but
means
Betsy, you can dance.
If we were dancing, I would be throwing it down right now. You guys would all be on the floor.
I'd be hurting someone.
You'd be on the floor. All right.
This goes to prove that web search isn't all it's cracked up to be.
Right.
All right. Question number 8. How much did New Hampshire's nonprofits raise during New Hampshire Gives 2020? Betsy.
$1.2 million.
Wrong. You better look that one up too. Monica, Eileen, anyone want to give it a shot?
I'm looking. You got really slow internet.
Who knows?
It was probably in a email that got sent out to us.
I can't search my email because I'm on this, and all that's coming up is this year. I'll take a guess.
No, let's do like Price is Right.
3.5 million.
What was the guess?
3.5 million.
No.
All right. Price is Right rules. Have Eileen guess hers, and then whoever is closest gets the point.
All right. Sounds good to
We
me.
can go with that. Eileen, what's your guess?
2.3 million.
No. Price is Right rules, which means that Monica was the closest. The answer is 3.3 million.
Boy.
Even when I make up new rules, it's not in my favor.
I'm trying.
That was good though.
Well, she did go over, but we'll let this one slide.
And I just have to say, raising 3.3 million during a pandemic was that was a pretty amazing year. And, kudos to certainly you three, but to all the organizations who were out there, and especially to all the donors who made that possible. I remember that being pretty amazing. All right, question 9. Created as part of President Johnson's War on Poverty, these organizations empower low-income people and promote self-sufficiency. New Hampshire has certified 5 of these agencies.
That would be Community Action.
You got to give it to her.
Community Action is correct. All right.
And I appreciate the softball. So,
For bonus, we were going to ask you to name all 5, and for sure that would have been a softball.
I know.
So,
can she do it?
All right.
Can I
The
do
last
it?
question. Monica has a commanding 5-2 lead. So, Betsy and Eileen, I think you're playing for second place here. Question 10. This organization, which focuses on increasing civic engagement in the state, has more than 950 alumni, each of which they are among the best class ever. Looks like Monica.
Leadership New Hampshire.
Oh, come on.
Leadership New Hampshire. Correct.
2007, baby, best class ever.
2011. No way are we the best class.
2010, and we did it without an executive director, so we always say that we get that.
But we're all alumni of Leadership New Hampshire. There's a shout out for that great nonprofit.
They just had their 1,000th person graduating class this year.
Steve,
Did they get a car?
They got a sash.
Steve, we want to do the tiebreaker for second place?
Ooh.
How about an all or nothing, like Jeopardy now? Like, what can we bet with like Jeopardy rules now? Like, I'm going to bet
Right.
7.
Okay.
No, Betsy.
Here we go.
No.
The tiebreaker.
Betsy and Eileen playing for second place without going over. What is the record for most snowfall in a 24-hour period at Mount Washington?
Now you both answer. You both answer.
Oh, we both answer.
Without going over, what's the record in inches for the most snowfall in a 24-hour period at Mount Washington?
Would that be? No, God, it doesn't even happen. It's the second coldest place on Earth.
All right, we need answers. We need answers.
All right.
Okay.
Betsy, what's your answer?
50 inches.
I'm gonna say.
299.
In a 24-hour period? That's a lot of snow.
299.
I'm gonna say.
They're both
I'll
wrong.
go with 84.
I think we need another question.
84.
Well, you both went over. The correct answer is 49.3 inches in 1969.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, come on. Okay.
So Eileen and Betsy, you are forever
tied.
Knotted. You are tied. You are tied at the hip.
But I got closest. Are we doing prices right now?
I knew I was the wrong person for this job. My director of development, Nancy Mellett, she is New Hampshire's Kevin Bacon. Everyone who is in New Hampshire is 7 degrees removed from her. She knows everything and everyone. She would have better represented us. My apologies, Nancy.
300 is a lot of inches of snow in one day.
I'm sitting here with my
It was one day, not a year.
Well, to borrow from Leadership New Hampshire, I think it's safe to say that this panel of contestants is the best panel New Hampshire Gives Trivia has ever had. To everyone tuning in, thank you for playing with us. Thank you for putting up with our silliness. And we really hope you'll support all of the nonprofits that make New Hampshire a great state. Between 5 p.m. June 8th and 5 p.m. June 9th. That's New Hampshire Gives. Give often, give happily, and thanks for playing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Big shout out to Monica for the big win. Boy, you smoked us, girl. We tried to hang with you. We tried to keep up, but she was out front right from the beginning. Congratulations.
All right, Betsy.
Congratulations, Monica, on your win. I look forward to being on a Zoom where you can proudly display. And then when we go back to meeting in person, I want you to bring your own background for every single meeting that you have with us. And we'll see you there. So congratulations, Monica.
Congratulations, Monica. You did a great job.
Monica, any parting words from the leaders' podium?
This was great fun, and I'm just so grateful that I wasn't trying to dance or lip sync with Betsy. And Eileen, I don't know you well enough to pull out what your thing is. And Steve, I hear you play like a banjo or a ukulele or something. So great job, everybody. And this isn't about winning or losing; it's about supporting the New Hampshire nonprofits.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
So, if Deborah requests an outtakes reel, we can make that happen.
We got that going.
I'm not going to hang around and see because I want to be surprised at who wins. But
I'll have to text you, Deborah.
Don't ruin it for me, Chris. Don't ruin it.
It won't be confusing to me, but I'm happy to change it if you.
Here.
I think
know
of
this
myself
is
more as a Phoebe than a Monica anyway.
if you want to just talk amongst yourselves for a second.
We shall.
Talk amongst ourselves.
Here we go. It's like
Pluck
butter.
it up.
It's so rare my name is spelled correctly, I just don't even look anymore.
It's chewy, extra excellent. That's what I always say. This is what we should be recording, the outtakes of how we articulate this.
Don't worry. I hit the record button a few minutes ago, so we're good to go.
Laura Smalaguzzi, founder of the Reggio Emilia Educational Approach, describes schools as a place of shared relationships among the children, the teachers, and the parents, and as a feeling of belonging in a world that is alive, welcoming, and authentic. So it is at the Dewey School located at the Canterbury Shaker Village. I'm Mindy Beltramo, the school's executive director, and we welcome you kindly.
Shaker Village, for those that don't know, outside of Canterbury, is an absolutely fantastic nature site. Beautiful lands filled with animals and all kinds of things that could be explored, both for adults and for young people. In this particular case with the Dewey School, that is the major learning site, is outdoors. Identifying leaves, identifying trees, seeing what kind of animals are out there at various times during the day.
The kids to have the opportunity to plant seeds and then watch them grow and then harvest the food and understand the entire life cycle of a garden or a chicken or whatever it may be. I mean, that's just an opportunity I think that all kids should have as a baseline. I think the types of opportunities that are available here are not available in the traditional four-walled school. My greatest hope is that the kids who learn all of these really deep qualities that will become innate to them of confidence and self-reliance and compassion, they will take that out into the world with them.
I think there's a lot of collaboration and working together, which the whole world needs to learn more of that. And I think it's a nurturing for young people in a very warm and collegial atmosphere.
People now are the future workforce. And I like the concept that our ceiling will be their floor. So as high as we can get, that's where they'll start.
years now, AmeriCorps has been on the front lines of serving communities across the Granite State. This commitment was on full display this past year as we navigated the COVID-19 pandemic with over 2,500 volunteers serving.
Hi, my name is Ariel Kaptein. I'm from Manchester, and I'm the Vista leader for the Catholic Charities New Hampshire AmeriCorps Vista program.
The New Hampshire COVID Community Care Corps is a new national service program that is placing AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps Vista members with New Hampshire municipalities and organizations as an emergency response to the novel coronavirus pandemic.
Good Life Programs and Activities is a health and wellness center for the 50-plus community in New Hampshire. We strive to be New Hampshire's premier center, supporting the mental, physical, spiritual, and social well-being of adults aged 50 and older. Are you or a loved one looking to keep busy, meet new people, or work out in a welcoming environment? Good Life is the place for you. At Good Life, we believe the secret to aging well is a combination of keeping the mind and body active. We offer a variety of exercise classes like cardio for heart health, total body fitness, and yoga for 50 plus, as well as educational seminars about real estate, weather, history, and art classes like quillings and tangle or oils and acrylics. It's free to be a Good Life participant, and our programs are all low cost or free. Our instructors are trained to offer modifications so that people of all abilities can participate in our programs. We're even offering classes via Zoom, so you can stay engaged and healthy during the COVID-19 pandemic. Your donations keep our programming low cost and help us to provide free programming every week. You also help keep our participants physically and mentally engaged. Join us in living the good life and donate during New Hampshire Gives between 5 p.m. on June 8th and 5 p.m. on June 9th. To learn more about Good Life's mission and our programming, visit our website, www.goodlifenh.org, or call us at 603-228-6630.
Been through a lot in my life, and every time that I've really been through the worst of it, I've come to the soup kitchen, and they have provided me with everything I've needed and then some. They've always been there for me when I've needed them the most, when nobody else was there for me, when nobody else could help me, and I've always been grateful for the service that they've provided me.
I wanted to just speak a little bit about how the National Soup Kitchen has helped me out. It's really scary when you wake up one day and you really realize, like, wow, I can't feed my kids. And I don't know what I would do without the National Soup Kitchen for those 2 weeks, honest to God. My kids had a place every morning, even though I was embarrassed at first. I knew I could feed them, and I could always count on the food that the National Soup Kitchen provided. It's been 2.5 years now, and The Nashua Soup Kitchen has pretty much gotten me to where I am today. I also had stayed in their shelter where my daughter was born, and if it wasn't for me being able to save money and Donna's help with the education, I wouldn't have an apartment. I finally got housing. I have been to Donna's office almost every single day before the coronavirus, and she was the one that helped me get my job that I have. She provided me with shoes because I didn't have enough money and I had to choose sometimes between my bills. I just am very thankful that Donna and the Nashua Soup Kitchen go out of their way to help people.
Hey everybody, this is Stephanie, our pantry supervisor at Nashua Soup Kitchen and Shelter. She's going to walk us through what a COVID pantry visit looks like.
Hey guys, so this is our food box. Our clients can come in once a month and get a box of dry goods. In each food box there is a range of dry goods from mac and cheese. We have canned vegetables and fruit, beans, soup, rice, cereal, all your pantry staples. Along with that we have a carton of fresh eggs, milk, gallon milk, and they also get fresh meat as well. Twice a week they can come in and they can get what is known as fruits and vegetables here, and each bag contains fresh fruit and vegetables, a carton of eggs, and they also get meat as well.
Hello everybody, my name is CJ. I am the kitchen supervisor, and I'm going to kind of show you what we do here on a nightly basis. First, we like to serve nutritious meals that are also good. What we usually do is 2 proteins and 2 starches that go along with. Or like today, I'll do a protein within a starch. All right, so today what we're doing, we have 2 different pans. That's mac and cheese with ham, and then we have a chicken breast and rice. We always serve a vegetable. To go along with that, we do milk, different juices. Today we have sweet tea and orange juice. We have to-go milks, a little bit of flavored sparkling water, and regular water.
Hello everyone, and thank you for spending some time learning about the Nashua Soup Kitchen and Shelter. Be sure to keep your eyes peeled because on June 16th, NSKS is launching our Spring Street Forward campaign. The campaign's intention is to raise money towards the new NSKS emergency shelter and community space. Be sure to check out our website, www.nsks.org, and subscribe to our newsletter for more information.
So as these videos are playing, guys, the next one's going to start here in just a second. We will be returning live to the NHPBS studios here at 3 p.m. So you'll need to jump to the other video on either Facebook or YouTube to check out that live coverage. I'll see you there.
Maybe it's a camp for your kids in the summer, a place to encounter wildlife, a vast expanse of trails to explore, or a tranquil escape where you can get away from it all. Whatever Beaverbrook means to you, we can all agree it's a place like no other. For more than 56 years, Beaverbrook has survived thanks to donations from friends and neighbors like you. They're not making land anymore. They're not making places like Beaverbrook anymore. This is clearly someplace we want to protect. Thank you for your continued support. Beaverbrook wouldn't be here without generous people like you.
Hello everyone, my name is Roger Akalia, Music Director of Symphony New Hampshire. All of us at Symphony New Hampshire are very excited to be participating in this year's New Hampshire Gives. Thanks to overwhelming support from donors like you, Symphony New Hampshire has been able to keep our music moving forward throughout this challenging year. We have been extremely fortunate to share our music with our community and highlight the fantastic musicians of the orchestra in a variety of programs. Music is a source of healing and comfort, and while many orchestras throughout the country postponed or canceled their seasons, we made it our top priority to keep the music alive. Look for us throughout the summer as Symphony New Hampshire performs a variety of music throughout New Hampshire, including our upcoming free concert at Greeley Park on June 11th at 6:30 p.m., which will feature the brass and percussion of Symphony New Hampshire in an all-American program. Next season, in particular, will be a very special and exciting season for all of us, and we are looking forward to performing for in-person audiences again. While we've been performing via live stream, we've missed seeing and performing for our audiences. The audience creates purpose for what we do, and in my opinion, music is meant to be shared. I look forward to the day when we can experience that together again. And with that being said, I also miss having the opportunity to go into the lobby after a concert to speak with our wonderful audience members. And it will be extremely special to have that sort of interaction again in the near future. We have performed a variety of virtual concerts this season featuring our musicians in works by composers such as Gershwin, Mozart, Debussy, and Copland, among others. A very important mission for us at Symphony New Hampshire is music education and sharing the joy of music with the younger generation. This past April, we recorded a special performance of Prokofiev's iconic Peter and the Wolf, which will be shared with a number of schools throughout New Hampshire.
When our club members come to the club, many of them come with a lot of different challenges, whether it's at school or at home or within themselves.
School is tough for some kids, and especially those that don't know that they have the voice. Barriers not only comes in language.
So Khalees came to the club when she was 8 years old, started with an after-school program.
When Khalees started the boys club when she was 8, they discovered she had a reading problem. It was hard at night watching her struggle with some of the words, and I actually noticed, because I, as a kid, had the same problem. I really had problems reading.
The schools work really close with us to make sure we schedule times for her to have one-to-ones with the teachers, meet here at the club, arrange for additional tutoring, and for Khalees to see that we were all working together.
With their after-school program, they took an hour out each day and read with her, helped her do her homework before she could even go into the games room.
It's so amazing to have Janeth here. She's someone that I truly look up to.
When she met Janeth, JW, I'd say she blossomed right through 6th grade up until now.
I've seen Khalees grow from a clubhouse member who was just here hanging out, having fun, to a teen member who is in leadership roles, who goes through mock interviews, participated in the Youth of the Year program.
For me to see Khalees thriving, overcoming her struggles by using her voice is what I look forward to see every day.
When I first came to the club, I didn't have very much confidence. And as I kept coming, the staff and the kids definitely gave me more confidence to do things. And I definitely have confidence now.
The Boys and Girls Club has given her an opportunity to become a leader.
The Boys and Girls Club has helped my daughter. They, with all the mentors she's had, they've helped her, encouraged her to do things and encourage her to put herself out there.
Mentoring is the backbone of all the work that we do here. We can have all the programs and activities, but the key to the success of reaching out to the kids and shaping their lives is the relationship that we build with them on a day-to-day basis.
For Khalees and all of our kids, we try and meet them wherever they are when they enter this club. And now with COVID and this situation, we are meeting kids in so many different ways that we never have before.
So when COVID hit, the club had to make a lot of different changes, and some of those changes included temperature checks.
Normal temperature.
We had to provide PPE for our members and our staff, make sure that everyone's sanitizing when necessary, washing hands.
Make sure that we have the designated Chromebooks, headphones, helping them to log in, make sure they're on time. That is a key to their success. And then we work our way through as they deal with other barriers as the day goes on.
We're a community. We all rely on each other. We all look up to each other and we all feed off our energy.
We talk about great futures starting here at the Boys and Girls Club, and I'm here to tell you they do. For people like Khalees and so many thousands of other kids, their lives have started at the Boys and Girls Club, and their futures are brighter because of the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Nashua.